Officer Fernandez, are you familiar with Texas Penal Code 38.02?
I would have to see what it is.
It's the failing to identify statute.
For the most part, yes.
In general terms, can you explain what it says? What are the elements to charge someone for failing to ID? This video section demonstrates that Mr. Rincon's phone is being taken from him by you.
Yes.
Or a lady on this side got shot. Okay.
Does this video section demonstrate you taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone from his hand for a second time?
Yes.
What was the reason for you taking his cell phone for this second time?
We're just trying to get our point across, and so I felt that you were being distracted.
Are you familiar with the United States Appellate Court for the Fifth Circuit's ruling in Turner versus Driver from February 2017?
No.
Was Mr. Rincon required to produce his license per their request?
Well, based on the situation that he was told about the incident, I do believe he
was required by law?
He will be required to provide some identification, either verbal or physical.
Could you please state that law you're referring to?
I don't know.
You don't?
No, sir.
On the night of April 26th, going into the early morning hours of April 27th, 2019, Ismael Rincon was on his own land near 1102 South Meadow Avenue in Laredo, Texas, property he owned near a private park adjacent to his home along the Rio Grande. He was armed with a Ruger 10/22 rifle, a legal firearm slung downward, not raised, not aimed at anyone. He was not committing a crime. He was not trespassing. He was, by every measurable standard, exercising his legal rights on private property. What followed was a roughly 20-minute encounter with officers from the Laredo Police Department operating under a federal border security grant called Operation Stone Garden. Officers who, despite that context, encountered a man who broke no law, committed no crime, and still found himself detained, handcuffed, physically searched without consent, had his phone seized twice, had his wallet taken from his body without legal authority to do so, and was called a name in Spanish that translates, depending on who you ask, to something between a jerk and something far more derogatory. That night, Ismael Rincon asked for the officers' names and badge numbers. He asked for EMS at least 3 times after claiming he was injured during a pocket search. He told officers repeatedly that they were on his property. None of that mattered in the moment. What you are about to watch are the sworn depositions of the 4 officers present or responding to that encounter. These testimonies were taken years after the event in the context of a federal civil rights lawsuit, Ismael Rincon versus the city of Laredo, a case filed in the United States District Court, Southern District of Texas, Laredo Division. Mr. Rincon is representing himself, pro se, as the plaintiff. That means the man asking the questions in these depositions is the same man whose phone was taken, whose wallet was searched, and who was handcuffed on his own property without being placed under arrest. What you are going to hear from these officers will, at times, be difficult to reconcile with what the video evidence shows. There will be moments that raise serious legal and constitutional questions, and there will be at least one moment where the man responsible for supervising all of it, a lieutenant with 35 years on the force, tells you he would do everything exactly the same way again. We start with Officer Ernesto Elizondo III. He was the first officer on scene that night. He was the one who made initial contact with Mr. Rincon. He was the one who directed the handcuffing. He is also the one who took Mr. Rincon's phone twice. In the room, Officer Elizondo, the plaintiff Ismael Rincon as the questioning attorney, defense counsel present, and a certified legal video specialist. This deposition was recorded on video, and what you are watching is that recording. Pay attention to how he characterizes his own authority during this encounter. Pay attention to what he admits and what he cannot recall. And pay attention to how the word detained is used throughout, because the distinction between detention and arrest matters enormously under the Fourth Amendment, and it will come up again and again across all 4 depositions.
This is the video deposition of Officer Ernesto Elizondo III in the matter of Ismael Rincon versus City of Laredo. Mr. Elizondo, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm, under penalty of perjury, that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may lower your hand. We may proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Elizondo.
Good morning.
As you may be aware, I am a pro se plaintiff in this matter, which you're being deposed. Ismael Rincon versus yourself, other officers with whom you work in the city of Laredo. Do you understand?
I do.
Do you mind if I refer to you as officer, or do you prefer other?
Mr.'s fine. Yeah.
Mr.?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you employed by the city of Laredo on April 27, 2019?
Yes, I was.
What was your job title at the time?
Investigator.
Yes, yeah. What is your present age?
I am currently 49 years old.
Okay. Were you born in the United States of America?
Yes.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime of moral turpitude?
No.
Do you know what a crime of moral turpitude is?
No.
You don't? So it means a crime involving dishonesty, fraud, things of that nature. You have any convictions of that?
No.
No. Have you ever been deposed in federal civil lawsuits?
Federal civil lawsuit? No.
Have you read the original complaint or the amended complaint?
Yes.
Okay. The date of the event, were you employed by the city of Laredo as a peace officer? The date of the encounter with Mr. Rincon in April 2019?
Yes.
What was your work schedule on Friday, April 26, 2019, and Saturday, 27, 2019, if you recall?
I believe at the time of the incident, I was working in overtime detail, and it was a 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. schedule.
Do you recall the shooting on April 26, 2019?
I do.
At approximately 10:30 p.m. involving Maria Barraza, the victim?
Yes. But I think the time is incorrect, right? You said it was
10:30.
maybe a little earlier, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Yes. Was it believed by the investigators to have been a .50 caliber weapon fired from across the border in Mexico, whose bullet allegedly struck her in the cheek?
Objection calls for speculation. You can answer.
Okay. Can you repeat it? I'm sorry.
Was it believed by the investigators to have been a .50 caliber weapon fired from across the border in Mexico, whose bullet allegedly struck her in the cheek?
It was alleged that it was a 50 caliber.
Yes. So it was unfortunate. Do you believe the crime was solved? Do you know if the crime was solved? That crime?
No, because they believe that it came from international land, and so therefore it was difficult to investigate.
Do you recall what were you doing at the time of the April 27th shooting?
I was actually on duty prior to working the overtime, and we responded to numerous calls.
Did you appear on scene of Maria Barraza's home at any time immediately following the shooting?
I'm sorry?
Did you appear on the scene?
No, I did not appear on scene.
Did you prepare and submit any report regarding the shooting?
No.
At approximately 0038 hours, April 27, 2019, a couple hours later, you arrived in the area of 1102 South Meadow Avenue in Laredo, Texas, in your police cruiser. Is that correct?
Yes.
What prompted you to go to that location where you encountered Mr. Rincon?
So prior to working that area, it was a designated area. We're working a federal grant, which is called Operation Stone Garden. Prior to going there, we normally get briefed by a patrol sergeant, right, in charge of the operation. And they brief us on any concerns in the area. One of the major concerns was the case that you just discussed. It was a gun battle between Mexican cartel and the Mexican military. There was witnesses, Border Patrol, namely, that saw a helicopter in the area shooting down into the Mexican area, and that everyone assumed that the cartel returned fire, which is probably what happened to the victim in the shooting case. And so as a result, there was a high alert, and we were told, hey, Border Patrol was on the river. Obviously, that's their priority and their responsibility. As Operation Stone Garden, we support their operation. Our job is to take a second line defense, which is normally in the streets. If they call out anything that might have gone through them, then that's our responsibility to assist them. And so kind of what led to our encounter.
Okay, so would you say it was routine patrol?
It's not routine patrol because it was a special operation to address the specific Border Patrol issues and matters and all that.
All right. Yeah, let me ask the question again. What prompted you to go to that specific location where you encountered Mr. Rincon? Dispatch, routine patrol, or were you in pursuit?
It was part of the operation that that was our designated area to work. So anywhere between, I think, Slaughter Park and like Maganaheim Road, more or less, that area, that was a designated area for our units to be working. So me in specific, that was my area.
Okay.
Yeah. A pretty general area, but that was my area. Yeah.
Okay. What did you see when you arrived?
So when I parked at my post, I saw what appeared to be a male figure across the street. It looked like he was walking across a roadway that I'm familiar with that leads into a local park, right? And he was clearly armed with a long rifle.
Did you see Mr. Rincon in the area?
I saw a male subject. I later learned that was you.
Was Mr. Rincon within the boundaries of the city park?
It appeared that he crossed the street leading into a park.
Was he on private property?
At the time, I didn't know what property it was, but it appeared that it was dark, and the subject was crossing through the road. And I think that it was even the road of the inside of the park because there's like a metal gate or some sort.
Do you recall him telling you several occasions during this encounter that he was on his property?
I recall that when I confronted you in full uniform, I think I asked you, are you Border Patrol? That was my first mental thought. Was like, well, because of what we already know, maybe it's a special, Border Patrol unit or something.
Did Mr. Rincon state to you what he was doing?
I recall you saying that it was your property and then you're patrolling the land.
What did you observe Mr. Rincon doing when you approached him?
I think when we make verbal contact, I'm assuming that you saw me coming based on what I've read. I saw you walking towards me. You were wearing the khaki shirt that we just saw. You had the sling rifle and a cap, I think.
You said, did he have a weapon? You said it was right.
I observed a long rifle, yes.
How was he carrying and holding the rifle, if you recall?
Yeah, I do. It was slinged and it was pointed downwards.
Okay.
What you just heard is Officer Elizondo describing his initial approach to Mr. Rincon, the sling rifle pointed downward, the khaki shirt, the cap. And critically, he confirms that Mr. Rincon never aimed that rifle at him or at anyone else. That is not a minor detail, that is the core of the encounter. Under the Supreme Court's decision in Terry v. Ohio from 1968, law enforcement may conduct a brief investigative stop when an officer has reasonable articulable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. That suspicion must be specific. It cannot be rooted purely in context, in the time of night, or in the general nature of a neighborhood. The fact that there was a shooting across the border involving cartel activity does not by itself establish that this particular man on this particular property was engaged in criminal activity, especially when he is legally carrying a firearm in a manner that suggests no imminent threat. What we are about to see is what happened after that initial contact. Elizondo will describe how he physically took Mr. Rincon's rifle, how backup arrived within minutes, and how that simple approach, one officer, one civilian, quickly became a scene with at least 5 cruisers, and what appears to be at least 7 officers surrounding a man who, by Elizondo's own testimony, never attempted to flee and was not physically threatening to anyone.
Did he ever aim the rifle at you or anyone, to your knowledge?
No.
Do you recall aiming your service weapon at Mr. Rincon?
No, I do not.
Did you take possession of Mr. Rincon's Ruger .22 caliber rifle?
I did, yes.
How did you accomplish this?
I think there was an exchange between me and you. Eventually, I verbally and sternly informed you that I would be taking that rifle. And eventually, after some verbal hesitation on your part, I think you figured out that the best thing to do is to comply. And so I physically took it from you.
Did you place Mr. Rincon under arrest?
No, you were not under arrest.
Did you perform an external pat-down of Mr. Rincon or for other weapons at the time of the initial encounter?
You were at the initial encounter between me and you. I don't think initially you were patted down. At some point you were patted down. Yes, I do recall that. I don't recall the timeline exactly. If I took your weapon and then my backup arrived. But at one point you were patted down.
Did Mr. Rincon attempt to flee from you?
No, you did not.
Would you describe Mr. Rincon as physically non-combative or combative during this encounter?
I think at one point in reviewing the video, you were being patted down and you resisted a bit, right? But I don't think it was too shocking or alarming. There was several officers there.
What did Mr. Rincon do to make you believe that he was dangerous during this initial encounter?
I just think that at the beginning, it was just a very unfortunate, I think that I approached, in a soft manner. I didn't have my lights on. It was clearly a marked unit. I was wearing a marked uniform. I was in duty. And some of the first things I said was, hey, are you Border Patrol or something along the lines? But based on the information that we had, I said, this needs to be checked out. And so that's how I felt.
Do you recall handcuffing Mr. Rincon at this moment?
I don't recall. I don't think I did the handcuffing. I think there was a second officer that did the handcuffing.
Do you recall using your issued service radio to request officers for support backup?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Do you recall using your service radio to request other officers for support or backup?
I think I might have radioed something in because they showed up. Yeah, so that's quite of a blur, but I might have, yes.
Did this request come after you secured Mr. Rincon's .22 caliber rifle?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that it was simultaneous. I think we kept each other kind of like the way we are now. Uh-huh. And then I felt backup go, and then that's kind of when if I remember correctly, I think.
What do you recall stating in general terms, if you cannot recall specifically what you said, your requirement for the needing for backup?
I don't recall. I must have said something. We normally communicate on a different channel because it's high intensity. We stop and investigate a lot of suspicious activity. So I must have said something like the location and somebody assist, I guess. Generally.
Was Mr. Rincon under arrest at any time during this encounter, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, you were never under arrest.
Did you ask him to produce his identification?
I asked. You were repeatedly asked to produce your identification.
Did Mr. Rincon comply with the request?
Did I remember that you didn't? So I think it was taken from you.
Were you wearing a body-worn camera during this encounter?
I was not assigned a body-worn camera.
Did any officer respond to your radio call for backup?
Several officers showed up, yes.
How long would you estimate it took for them to arrive?
I would say probably a minute or two.
Less than 5 minutes?
I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, now we're moving into one of the exhibits. It's going to be Exhibit 4. That's one I have. We're going to watch from minutes, 0 seconds to 25-second mark.
So we got 10:22. Yeah, that's a we got 10:22.
So, would you agree this is the location where the encounter with Mr. Rincon?
Yes.
Would you agree there are at least 5 police department cruisers on scene?
I didn't get to count those, but I would agree that about that many.
I would have played again.
No, that's fine. No, I would agree with you.
Would you agree that there are at least 7 officers on scene?
I wouldn't know about the 7. I think there's 5 because that's the number of investigators that worked on the details. So I would agree that they all showed up. There could have been some others.
Would you agree that Officer Benavides is speaking with you at that point?
Benavides?
Yeah.
I don't think he had a body cam. I don't think it was Benavides. Or is it? Because it says Rodriguez. I'm sorry. I'm reading that.
Rodriguez is the public information.
That's the one that burned it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not too sure. I vaguely remember anybody approaching me. I remember doing that to your weapon to secure it, but I don't remember who talked to me.
Okay. We keep playing up to second number 32. Did Officer Benavides tell you that the rifle you were inspecting was a AR-22 caliber rifle?
I think I can't really hear what's being said, but I think I heard that in the audio. I don't remember it then, but now that I'm hearing it.
Okay. Did you state to Officer Benavides that Mr. Rincon told you he was the alleged landowner on which property the encounter took place?
I don't recall that.
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
You want me to play it again?
If it's there, then it was said, but I just don't recall it. As you're asking me, I don't recall that.
Right. So let's look at the other exhibit then. This would be Exhibit 5A. Play from 0 minute 0 seconds to 38-second mark.
0002.
Porque it shouldn't be an issue. Todo es mi propiedad. It shouldn't be an issue.
We just want to make sure. Just give me your name. You're gonna talk to him right now.
¿Cómo te llamas tú?
What's your name?
¿Cómo te llamas?
I want your name.
Does this video demonstrate you approaching Mr. Rincon?
Yes.
Does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon making requests for your name and badge number to other officers?
Yes.
Does this video section demonstrate that Mr. Rincon's phone is being taken from him by you?
Yes.
Did you ask Mr. Rincon to give you his cell phone?
I don't think so. No.
Why did you take Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
I think that it was a distraction, and we were in a heightened sense of alert because of all the things I've already explained to you. And so I think that you were distracting yourself from something that should have been a little bit quicker.
There is something important to sit with here, and it is grounded entirely in what you just heard. Officer Elizondo was asked directly why he took Ismael Rincon's cell phone. His answer, it was a distraction. Mr. Rincon was distracting himself. The officer then confirmed that holding a phone was not an illegal act. Recording the encounter was not an illegal act, and yet the phone was taken anyway. This matters because in 2017, the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, the circuit that covers Texas, ruled in Turner versus Driver that citizens have a clearly established First Amendment right to record police officers performing their official duties in public. That case was decided 2 years before this encounter. When Elizondo was asked whether he was familiar with that ruling, he said no. When asked whether he had any training on it, he said he did not recall. What you are about to see involves the physical search of Mr. Rincon's pockets and person. Elizondo will characterize it as a Terry frisk. Under Terry, officers conducting an investigative stop are permitted to conduct a limited pat-down of the outer clothing when they have reason to believe the person is armed and dangerous. The operative word is limited, outer clothing, for weapons, not a full search, and not the retrieval of personal property like a wallet. We will hear Elizondo confirm that he or another officer did in fact remove Mr. Rincon's wallet from his person. And the question of whether that crossed the legal boundary of a Terry frisk into an unlawful search is exactly the kind of question this federal lawsuit is designed to answer.
Would you say that this video section demonstrates Mr. Rincon willingly giving you his cell phone? Would you say that this video section demonstrates you used force to grab the phone and hit or push Mr. Rincon backwards in order to take possession of his cell phone?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion. You can answer.
Is there a name used by the Laredo Police Department or its officers for this technique of taking someone's cell phone or other small property?
No.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone an illegal act or a crime?
No.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone and recording the encounter an illegal act or crime?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
No.
Let's go back to Exhibit 3. Was 2-minute 35-second mark to 2-minute 50-second mark. When it started 2:24.
When provided the tag sealed by Bobby Submittal. George Mary Sam 0798 Texas. Conduct to afford death treatment.
Does this video section demonstrate you directing Officer Fernandez to handcuff Mr. Rincon?
From this standpoint, I cannot determine that.
Did this video section depict Mr. Rincon attempting to flee? Did this video section demonstrate that he was threatening any of the officers?
No.
This video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon being violent or acting as a threat to anyone?
No.
Does this video section demonstrate that there are at least 3 officers surrounding Mr. Rincon?
Yes.
Does this video section demonstrate that Lieutenant R. Ramirez was within approximately 7 feet of Mr. Rincon while he was being handcuffed?
Yes.
Why did you direct Officer Fernandez to handcuff Mr. Rincon?
I think that based on everything I said before, our very heightened sense of alert that we had in that area, based on the information that you also learned, which is in a Mexican cartel avenue shootout, it's common knowledge and intelligence, and then what happens when there's a battle like that. A lot of those criminal subjects flee into the United States, and so we received that information from Border Patrol. Did it happen that night? I don't know, but when we were briefing earlier that day, that's the understanding and the perception that we get is that, hey, this might be something that we encountered tonight. And so, being that I saw you, I had that feeling that maybe he's law enforcement, but when we quickly determined that you were not because you just didn't want to cooperate with any of my requests, I felt that you were dragging it on and we needed to be there longer than we had to. And, at one point, I think you just needed to be secured. I don't know to what level it would have mounted, but you just seemed like you were notching up, your lack of cooperation with the police.
Was Mr. Rincon under arrest at this point?
You were not under arrest, no.
Does the video sections presented thus far demonstrate that Mr. Rincon was asked to provide his personal identification to the officers on at least 2 or more occasions?
I don't think I've heard that in these videos. Based on the videos, You're asking me if I've heard that? I don't think you've played anything that shows that.
To your knowledge, did Mr. Rincon comply with this request?
I don't recall how we ended up getting your information.
Okay. Let's look at Exhibit 4, 2-minute 35-second mark through 2-minute 50-second mark.
Yeah, it comes out of your cell phone.
On this video section, does this video section depict you and Officer Fernandez reaching into Mr. Rincon's pocket?
Yes.
What were you searching for?
You were failing to provide identification, if I recall correctly.
So, what were you searching for?
It must have been a multitude of things because the identification, you had a weapon, your lack of cooperation. So, it's a Terry frisk. And so, the whole thing is a Terry stop. And so, we're searching you for additional weapons.
Does this video section accurately depict Mr. Rincon protesting your search of his pockets and person by stating, no, to an illegal search?
Yes.
Does this video section depict you, Officer Elizondo, taking Mr. Rincon's wallet or other articles of property from Mr. Rincon's person?
Yes.
What was the purpose of your taking Mr. Rincon's wallet?
To obtain your information.
Was Mr. Rincon required to provide you with that information?
I don't recall.
Can you try answering that question?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat it?
Was Mr. Rincon required to provide you with that information?
It would have been helpful to minimize everything that happened from the beginning, just to provide your information so we can verify that you own the land and you were not the threat that we thought you were. And so you were being legally detained. You were not under arrest. But I think that in an effort to satisfy, all the concerns that we had, it was necessary to identify you. But at that point, you were not under arrest, so...
Officer Elizondo just acknowledged in sworn testimony that Mr. Rincon was not required to provide his identification. He said, and I want to be precise here, that it would have been helpful, but when pressed to answer yes or no whether Rincon was legally required, he said no. That answer is significant because at the 3-minute 4-second mark of Exhibit 4, captured on video, Officer Elizondo can be heard calling Mr. Rincon a cabron. He acknowledges this on the record. He says it translates to a jerk. He says it was the result of accumulated frustration. At this point in the encounter, Mr. Rincon had not been placed under arrest. He had not committed a crime. He was handcuffed and in custody for what Elizondo describes as a temporary detention. The question that needs to be asked is straightforward. At what point does the use of a derogatory term toward a detained person, one who is handcuffed, surrounded by multiple officers, and who has broken no law, cross from frustration into a form of intimidation or degradation that reflects on the broader constitutional validity of the stop itself? Coming up, Elizondo will be shown footage from approximately the 18-minute mark of the encounter, roughly 15 minutes after the initial detention began. Mr. Rincon's handcuffs have been removed, his property is being returned, and then Elizondo takes his phone again for a second time the moment Mr. Rincon begins recording once more.
So can you answer this one with a yes or no? Oh, no. Yeah, no. Okay. Thank you. Let's go back to Exhibit 4, 3-minute 4-second mark through 3-minute 8-second mark. I'm going to start it at 3:01. Just depict you referring to Mr. Rincon as a cabron.
Yes.
What does cabron translate in English to your understanding?
I would say
circumstances.
like a jerk, you know.
Did you call Mr. Rincon a cabron because he protested your search of his person?
I think it just culminated to that point, frustration with from the beginning.
At this time, was Mr. Rincon under arrest?
No, we're not under arrest.
Was Mr. Rincon being held handcuffed and in custody because he was not answering questions?
You were handcuffed and temporarily detained for the reasons that I stated earlier, which is, you know, everything kind of just escalated.
Can you answer with a yes or no?
Objection is answered.
So, officer, do you know what question or questions Mr. Rincon was required to answer in order to end this encounter per Officer Benavides?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can still answer.
You're not required to answer any questions.
Did you remove Mr. Rincon's license or other identification card from Mr. Rincon's wallet, or was it Officer Fernandez?
I don't recall if I removed it or someone removed it, but eventually it came into our possession.
So you don't recall?
I don't recall exactly how I got into.
Did you, by radio or otherwise, call in to your dispatch and provide them with Mr. Rincon's identifying driver's license number?
We did check, yes.
Did they confirm to you that Mr. Rincon had no active warrants?
They confirmed that you're clear.
Did you then return your from your cruiser and return Mr. Rincon's wallet, cell phone, and Ruger 22 caliber approximately 15 minutes later?
You got me in the timeline. I don't know about that, but everything was eventually returned to you.
Let's look at this. Some Exhibit 4, 18-minute 10-second mark up to the 19-minute 3-second mark.
It's not. That's your problem. That he asked you. He both talk. Yes. You do a better job of identifying. They had nothing lighting you up. Harry Ness. Hang us about 2 weeks straight. Harry Ness, you and I just in the table. Listen, that's your problem. You have nothing, sir. Crossing the street, that's a public park. That's the city park. The city park, you control. It was just a shooting, society, or a lady on the second shot. There's plenty of witnesses.
So this video was after, like, approximately 15 minutes after he took Mr. Rincon's cell phone and wallet. Does this section of the video depict Officer Benavides directing Officer Fernandez to remove the handcuffs from Mr. Rincon?
I don't recall how or when you got the handcuffs removed. Eventually you did. I just don't recall who did it or at what point.
Was this done with your authorization or approval?
I don't recall that it required that. I think or not that it wasn't, because of my approval. They were removed. I don't know at what point, how that was decided.
Does this section of the video, my Exhibit 4, 18-minute 10-second mark to 19-minute 3-second mark, depict Mr. Rincon after receiving his cell phone from you, activating the camera and recording you and this encounter from the second time? For a second time, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Does this video section demonstrate you taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone from his hand for a second time?
Yes.
Did you turn off his cell phone recording application or a function?
I don't recall that.
Does this video section demonstrate that you withheld Mr. Rincon's phone from him and then several seconds later placed in his shirt pocket?
Yes. You're confusing me with a shirt pocket. I'm sorry, Mr. Rincon. I'm seeing that I placed it in your hand. So that's where I'm getting confused about the shirt pocket part.
Okay.
You're seeing the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I returned the phone to you.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's move on to the next question.
He took the phone a second time. Mr. Rincon was no longer handcuffed. He had already been cleared of any warrants. His rifle had been confirmed as legally owned. The encounter by any objective measure should have been concluding. And the moment Mr. Rincon raised his phone and began recording again, Elizondo took it again. When asked why, Elizondo says Mr. Rincon was still trying to prolong the encounter, that he was being a distraction. But that framing inverts the situation. The person creating the prolonged encounter was not the man standing on his own property.
What was the reason for you taking his cell phone for this second time?
I think you were still trying to prolong the amount of time that we had to be there. We're just trying to get our point across, and so I felt that you were being distracted.
We have another angle. That would be Exhibit 5B.
Hello?
It's going to be from the 0 minutes, 0 second to 38 second mark.
That is your problem, man. If you do a better job of identifying yourself late at night, you're carrying this.
You're about to be detained.
No, record this, brother. You're carrying this late at night.
Is not legal.
Listen, that's your problem. You're not a good listener.
Okay.
We're crossing the street. That's a public park. You own that side. But that's a city park that, listen up.
Yeah.
That's a city park that we patrol.
Okay.
There was just a shooting on the Mexico side where a lady on this side got shot.
Does this video section depict essentially the same account as my Exhibit 4 that we just watched at minute 18, 10 seconds through 19, 3 seconds, just presented to you?
It appears so, yes.
Why was Mr. Rincon held for approximately 20 minutes?
That was the amount of time that we had to do just a minor investigation, run your information, determine that you're being truthful.
What crime did you suspect Mr. Rincon of having committed, if any?
No crime.
Do you recall Mr. Rincon stating that Officer Fernandez injured his shoulder when you and he searched his pockets?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall that Mr. Rincon requested EMS assistance on at least 3 occasions after Officer Fernandez injured his shoulder?
I recall mention of it. I don't know how many times, but there was mention of towards the end.
Why was EMS not contacted?
I don't know who that was directed towards. I just don't feel like that was directed towards me.
What did Lieutenant Ramirez, badge number 640, say to you about this encounter being handled?
I don't recall.
Officer Elizondo, do you believe that your conduct and actions during this encounter with Mr. Rincon did not violate any Laredo Police Department policies existing at that time?
Objection. Possibility conclusion.
Can answer.
I don't feel I violated any policies.
Do you believe that your conduct and actions during this encounter with Mr. Rincon did not violate any laws or statutes existing at the time?
Objection. Possibility conclusion.
I don't feel like I violated any laws.
Are you familiar with the United States Appellate Court for the Fifth Circuit's ruling in Turner versus Driver from February 2017?
No.
Did you have any training regarding this ruling for citizens' right to record public servants in the performance of their official duties?
I don't recall.
Are you familiar with the United States Supreme Court ruling in Terry v. Ohio from 1968?
Familiar with it.
Did you have any training regarding this ruling, a detainment and external pat-down for a suspect believed to be armed and dangerous?
I don't recall.
The time is 9:55. We're off the record. The time is 10:05. We're on the record.
Okay, straight on those, this would be the last question. For purposes of possible award of punitive damages to the plaintiff in this case, can you approximate your net worth in dollars this time?
I cannot, no.
Do you recall how many vehicles do you own?
How many vehicles I own? 2 vehicles.
Do you recall how much real estate do you own or have an interest in?
No, I do not.
How much were you paid by Laredo PD last year?
My salary last year was approximately
How much do you anticipate being paid this year?
the same.
So this is the last question, I'm sorry. If this encounter were to take place today, would you conduct yourself exactly as you did back in April 27, 2019, or would you change anything?
Objection. Pause for speculation.
What's the answer?
I don't know.
If you would change anything, what would you do differently?
I don't know.
That's it for me. That's it from me. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now we move to the second deposition. Officer Alejandro Benavides was a responding officer who self-initiated to the scene. By the time his deposition begins, he has already retired from the Laredo Police Department after more than 21 years of service. What Benavides offers in this deposition is less a narrative of specific actions and more an extended justification of the encounter as a whole. He is, to put it plainly, a true believer in what happened that night. That conviction will become relevant as you listen to what he actually says on the record about recording, about identification, and about what, in his view, justified the entire stop.
We are on the record. This is a video deposition of Officer Arturo Benavides in the matter of Ismael Rincon versus City of Laredo, Texas. Mr. Benavides, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm, under penalty of perjury, that the testimony you're about to give today in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may lower your hand. We may proceed.
Who's your current employer?
I'm retired. As February of this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is your present job title you're returning? Right?
I'm a civilian.
How long were you employed by the City of Laredo?
Over 21 years?
Were you employed by the City of Laredo on April 27, 2019?
Yes.
Have you read the original complaint or any of the amended complaints in this case?
Yes.
Were you employed by the City of Laredo as a peace officer on the date of your encounter with Mr. Rincon on April 2019?
I had an encounter after the fact. I arrived to assist.
Let me rephrase, re-ask the question. Were you employed by the City of Laredo
Oh, yes.
as a peace officer
Of course.
on the date of your encounter with Mr. Rincon?
Yeah, I believe I already answered that.
Thank you. What was your schedule on Friday, April 26, 2019, and Saturday, April 27,
I was working.
2019, if you recall?
It was in the evening, the second shift.
So it would be evening
2 to
shift
12.
or
2 to 12. 2 to midnight.
do you recall shooting? Do you recall the shooting of 26, 2019 at approximately 10:30 p.m. involving Maria Barraza, the victim of Buckwheat Drive in Laredo, Texas?
It was all over the news, yes.
Was it believed by the investigators to have been a .50 caliber weapon fired from across the border in Mexico whose bullet allegedly struck her in the cheek?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can answer.
Yeah, you can answer.
Okay. That was the alleged. Because it's been happening for years. People just stop calling
Yeah. And
unless get hit or grazed.
yeah. It was unfortunate, but do you know if that crime was solved?
No,
That particular
I
one?
had nothing to do with that case.
Okay. Do you recall what you were doing at the time of the April 26, 2019 shooting?
No, I don't recall.
You know,
Several years ago.
did you appear in the scene of Maria Barraza's home at any time immediately following the shooting?
No.
Did you prepare and submit any report regarding the shooting? Were you alone on this call, or was there another officer with you?
On your call? On your call.
Right.
I only recall Ernie Elizondo and some Fernandez and some other ones that were in the dark. It was pitch dark. Pitch dark. We had no choice but to use as much illumination as possible. And I only remember those two.
Okay.
But I know there were more. But they were like packed. I'm not sure how many.
To your knowledge, was Mr. Rincon on private property?
Like I said, I was an assisting officer. I had to cross over approximately 2 miles plus to assist on the call on the computer display that we have, subject with rifle. So it took me a few minutes to get there. When I got there, I saw police officers, some drawing guns, and I saw you, they were identified as my head, having some type of argument as to your rights and lefts, and they also were just telling you, can you just cooperate and make this short and simple. What I can tell you in all my years, besides PD, I was 15 in the Webb County. In all my years of experience, never have I seen such restraint from these officers. They're all seasoned officers, number one, to myself. I would not have seen that. A different type of officer. These were seasoned guys. And then with all the rhetoric with police, it kind of makes you hold back and give the person a little bit more time. and not just go in there and gangbusters. Very careful about that. That's something we had to go through, and it's still going through all over the world, all over the country. So I just saw a conversation between you and the officers. You wouldn't identify yourself, and the officers were calm, no screaming, no nothing like that. But I said, I noticed something in your hand, so I get you up. And that, my flashlight, keeping on your hands is normal. If I had a choice either to draw my gun, which I had every right, but I decided not to. There were some other ones there. And I was just lighting those hands up. I saw a rifle. That's a semi-auto. I know my rifles. And I just keep lighting you up. Of course, I'm a little tired with that flashlight. Switch over you. And it seemed like an eternity just lighting you up as much as I could, before my light went out. And so I just kept my flashlight on your hands, making sure, in my opinion, from what I've been taught, this is already, there's no such thing as a low ready down here or a high ready. There's no such thing. It's in your hands. At a flick of a movement, you're down. That's something we're taught. Mm-hmm. But they use the discretion. They're more senior officers. I let them do the talking. I did not interfere. I let the lead man talk to the point that it was, in my opinion, a lot of leeway to you, Mr. Rincon. And incredible amount. I've never seen that in my career. But I understand why. The fear and all this anti-police stuff going on. And I understand why Ernie did that. Everybody was controlled by here, giving Ernie a space. And that's it. That was my purpose, is to illuminate you. Because I was really scared, because I know how quick that gun. I did not know your intentions. I didn't know who you were. That area that you were from what I heard, is a heavily trafficked area of smugglers and illegal aliens. It's common. It's right next to our park. It's a bat reservoir there. And it's super dark. I mean, you need infrared there, or a good flashlight. Mm-hmm. So I used whatever I was given. And I was just like, the only thing I could do is just light this man and just hear carefully. Time was ticking, minutes, 20 minutes. You would not comply with simple orders from Officer Elizondo. And it was starting to get out. This is too much. He has to understand that we're the law, we're uniformed, we had questions due to the fact that you were coming from somewhere from the bridge. Like I said, Border Patrol's always over here, right? Close to where you were walking, close to your property. I think you know that. And there's always traffic in there. And they saw somebody, and you wouldn't identify yourself. That's what I saw for about more than 10, 15 minutes. And it was getting really, I said, this man's not going to cooperate. I hope this doesn't go really bad, which he can't.
Did you perform an external pat-down on Mr. Rincon for other weapons in the encounter?
I never touched you.
Did Mr. Rincon attempt to flee from you?
No. You stood your ground. This is my property. I'm not moving. That's what you claim.
Would you describe Mr. Rincon as physically non-combative or combative during this encounter?
Combative. Very. Verbally combative. I'm not going to give you my name. I don't have to.
What did Mr. Rincon do to make you believe that he was dangerous during this encounter?
I've never seen anybody in all my years not comply with a police command, especially when they're holding either an AR-15, AK-47. In your case, it's a Ruger 22, which is the semi-auto.
Was Mr. Rincon under arrest during this encounter, to your knowledge?
Was what?
Under arrest.
At that point, you were being detained to investigate as to why you were coming from the riverbanks, according to Mr. Elizondo. And where the riverbanks is, like I said, there's city property. But I didn't see you in there. Like I said, it's a 5-minute travel. You could have traveled from this point to your property while I was en route. That's all I can. That's very clear and it's very obvious.
Did you ask Mr. Rincon to produce his identification to you?
You were, not me, but I heard my fellow officers. You refused to give it verbally. You refused to provide a card. Nothing. You just held on to that rifle for dear life.
Did Mr. Rincon comply with that request?
After more than 20 minutes of, I almost called it a recommendation from Ernie Elizondo to tell you, man, look at all the leeway we've given you. All I want to know is what's going on. Put that rifle in your hand and your defiance on my police commands is making me nervous. Just put it down, put it to the side. He never mentioned about it or threatened you of any arrest. No.
Were you wearing a body-worn camera during this encounter with Mr. Rincon?
Yes.
At approximately 12:43 a.m., April 27, 2019, you arrived in the area of 1102 South Meadow Avenue in Laredo, Texas, with your police cruiser. Is that correct?
Yes.
What prompted you to go to the location with the encounter with Mr. Rincon? Were you dispatch routine or?
I self-initiated. It's a heavy call. Whole of manpower, and I knew it wouldn't take me long to get there. It's called assisting crossing over on a dangerous call that could get out of hand.
What do you recall stating in general terms, if you cannot recall specifically what was said through dispatch regarding the officer's need for backup?
I don't recall that. All I remember is reading the narrative on the. I did hear initially subject by the part. We use a code 32, which is rifle, pistol. That's enough for me. I cross over, and I'm always late because it's a little distance away. Unless it's too far from. Laredo's not that big. It doesn't take you that long to cross over. The lights and siren.
How long would you estimate it took you to arrive to the scene?
I don't know, maybe under 5 minutes, or what did you say? A little over 5 minutes, I would say. Sometimes you forget to put the on-scene button. And in a call like that, you try to maintain radio silence. Radio silence, it's very vital. Kept the radio silence because we knew that this could go sideways. It can go sideways. So we maintain a certain amount of radio silence. We had enough officers at the time. Yeah, enough. I mean, you can check just by hitting the button GPS, you'll see the amount of officers there. And you can determine, they don't need me there. Unless they call you.
Okay. Let's go to exhibit number 4, which that would be your body camera from the sensitive. We're going to play from 0 seconds to 25-second mark.
Ruger 1022. Yeah, it's a Ruger 1022 rifle.
Would you agree that this video section depicts that the location of the encounter with Mr. Rincon?
There's no way. It's just dark on top of a hood. It doesn't give me a location. All it does is give me minus 99.47. That's longitude, latitude, I don't know, but it doesn't show me a location because I know it was pitch dark. Whatever illumination you have there is officers' flashlights, and I believe they used the hood of a car. So I couldn't tell you specifically where that car. I don't recall.
Let me try rephrasing that. Now that you know about the case and you saw a portion of it, would you agree that in this video section it depicts the location of the encounter with Mr. Rincon?
I don't see you anywhere.
Not at that time.
I don't see you anywhere there. I see a rifle on that video. You can rewind it. I don't see you there. I don't know who gave it to him or what. I don't see that on video.
Okay, let's move to the other one. Would you agree there are 5 police department cruisers on scene?
I don't recall.
Would you agree that there are at least 7 officers on scene?
7? I don't recall.
Would you agree that you are speaking with Officer Elizondo at a 26-second to 32-second video section? Let me play that real quick.
Please.
Yeah. Would you agree that you were speaking with Officer Elizondo in that section of the video?
Let me ask you a question. That body cam that you're showing me, who is Al Rodriguez?
They placed it there, the public information officer. So that's not an officer.
That's not an officer?
No.
I was just asking because I've never seen this.
Yeah.
I can't see the other officer. Whoever's talking to you there, it's very brief. And you could rewind a little bit.
So let me change that question. The time marks, I'm sorry. It's going to be from 0 seconds to 0:32 to 0 seconds to 32-second mark. Let me play that again. I'm sorry.
It's a Luger 1022. Yeah. That's my voice.
Okay. So let me ask the question again. Would you agree you're speaking with Officer Elizondo in this video section?
Yes, I recognize my voice, but I wouldn't have it recalled. But the audio that's my voice.
You are speaking to Officer Elizondo at that point?
Yes.
Does this video section depict you telling Officer Elizondo that the rifle he was inspecting was a 22 caliber rifle?
Ruger 1022.
Does this video section depict Officer Elizondo telling you that Mr. Rincon told him that he was the landowner of the property on which the encounter took place?
I don't recall.
You want for me to play it again?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a Ruger 1022. I noticed he didn't respond.
So let me ask the question again. Does this video depict Officer Elizondo telling you that Mr. Rincon told him that he was the landowner of the property in which this incident took place?
No, I didn't hear that.
Let's look at the same exhibit at 2-minute 20-second mark through the 2-minute 40 seconds. I'm gonna start it on the 2-minute 33 seconutes.
It comes out of your cell phone.
Let me do a correction. The time it's gonna be 1:40. I'm sorry, 1:40 second. 1 minute 40 second.
You put the tags hereby by the where you provided the tags hereby by the submittal. George Mary Sam 0798. Come back to a point. The audio is very poor. I can't hear the voices clearly or loud enough. You're walking around with a gun at night. It could have been easy. It could have been. Let me check it out of your cell phone. Metal.
Does this section of video footage show you walking around the truck on the property near the encounter? Does this section of video footage also show you calling in the license plate number?
Yes.
Does this section of video depict you being told by radio communications that this truck belonged to Ismael Rincon?
Yes. The only reason I ran it because it looked abandoned to me or inoperable. That's the reason why I ran it. I was not aware that was your property. Like I said, it's big, dark land connected to our park. I just decided to run it just in case. For any reason.
Does this video section depict you trying to open the door of the truck?
I don't see that.
Let's go to Exhibit 3. 1 minute and 47 second mark. 1 minute 41 second mark. To 2 minute 35 second mark.
1399, 1332, someone dispatched and the black bill. They're writing in a...
You get the tags here by about this piece.
Sorry?
Where you provided the tags here by about your submittal.
Downey, go ahead.
Yes.
Thank you.
Does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon making several requests to other officers for Elizondo's name and badge number?
I don't recall.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo walking away from the hood of his cruiser towards Mr. Rincon?
I don't recall it.
You want me to play it again?
Yeah. So this is only my camera being used.
That is exhibit number 3.
The dash cam of the vehicle.
1399, 1332, someone dispatched and the black bill. They're writing in a break for season. Purple 16 over talk.
You get the tags here by about this piece.
Sorry?
Where you provided the tags here by about your submittal.
Downey, go ahead.
Yes, let me ask the question again. Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo walking away from the hood of his cruiser towards Mr. Rincon?
Well, I don't see his face at all. I don't know who those officers are. A lot of new officers. Don't recognize them. They're angled.
You didn't recognize Officer Elizondo on the hood of his cruiser?
But I saw his face. I don't see his face. I see a profile. I can't tell you who that is. I said more people kept arriving apparently.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo reaching and apparently taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone while he was recording the encounter?
No, I don't see that.
Do you need for me to play it again, or?
I don't see him taking away anything.
All right, let's move on to the other question. Let's look at it from another angle. There's going to be a cell phone footage from this incident, Exhibit 5A, 00 seconds to 38 second mark.
Zero, 4.
Are we making an issue with how?
Okay, it shouldn't be an issue.
We just want to make sure. Just give me your name. Just give me your name. What's your name?
Hey,
listen to me. Listen to me. I just want your name.
does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo approaching Mr. Rincon?
Only by voice. I don't see this. I only see the silhouette.
Does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon making requests for Officer Elizondo's name and badge number to the officers present?
Did we hear that?
Want me to play it again?
Yeah.
No. What's your name?
02-864.
Why are we making an issue?
Porque it shouldn't be an issue. Estoy en mi propiedad. It shouldn't be an issue.
We just want to make sure, bro. You can record on your.
1832, someone despatched a black dog.
Just give me your name.
What's the man?
Just give me your name.
I did freight workstation.
You'll see my name here.
No, Ed.
Turbo 216 over.
You're gonna talk to him right now.
¿Cómo te llamas tú?
What's your name?
Hey. ¿Cómo te llamas?
This is what's your name?
¿Cómo te llamas? So, does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon making requests for Officer Elizondo's name and badge number to the officers present?
I still don't hear it. The audio was not very good, but I do remember the time frame. It took you a long time to provide a name while you were being detained, and the officers were still showing such calmness, such professionalism, such control in a heated, that could get heated, just along somebody holding a weapon, refusing to hand it over with probable cause. And I just, like I said, it took an awful long time, but I heard some exchange of names there.
Okay. What's the other question? Does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon's phone being taken from Officer Elizondo?
I don't see that.
Did Officer Elizondo ask Mr. Rincon to give him his cell phone?
I don't recall that.
Why did Officer Elizondo take Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
Objection calls for speculation.
If you know, you can answer.
If you know.
Oh, I don't know. It's his decision. We have to ask him.
Would you say that this video section demonstrates Mr. Rincon willingly giving Officer Elizondo his cell phone?
I don't see any exchange.
Would you say that this video section demonstrates Officer Elizondo used force to grab the phone and hit and or push Mr. Rincon backwards in order to take possession of his cell
I
phone?
don't see that in the video.
Is there a name used by Laredo Police Department or its officers for this technique of taking someone's cell phone or other small property?
Is it what?
Is there a name used by Laredo Police Department or its officers for this technique to take cell phones or small property from people?
Well, me personally, when I arrest somebody, that phone's gone. I already got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to waste time. So that phone is confiscated. I'll log it in. Most of the time, I log it in to avoid radio chatter. We need that channel 1 open. So at the moment, like I said, that's the way I work. The minute I stop you, I know you're going in. I have a lot of arrests in my record. I've never had any reversals. So that's the way I did it. I would have done it. Or you're asking me, is that the procedure? Yeah. But not always do you have an arrest. If the guy's cooperative, at reasonable time frame, 3-4 minutes. But this was beyond, courtesy and a half of trying to make you understand, look, man, we're giving you a chance. We have probable cause. You're coming from over here. He alleges you're coming from over here. I didn't see that. I take his word for it. His reputation precedes him. And I follow. I just follow.
Yeah.
It was his thing,
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone an illegal act or crime?
Objection calls for repetition.
You can answer.
Say it again.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone an illegal act or crime?
Well, he was going to make a detention. You lose that phone immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because there's a good chance you're going to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not complying with that rifle. I would have taken your end like that. That's me. But it was not my call. Like I said, I'm more of a field officer. He's been a field officer, but I've been longer. The minute I do that, I know that you're gone. I'm going to handcuff you forward or backward, don't matter. So there's no need to proceed with the recording. You're going to rely on your life on it too. I've never had any issues. So it's procedure. Some guys get freaked out. They panic. Oh, he's videotaping. Well, if you're going to arrest him, there's no need for him. I already got you. With my video, please take the thing and you put it away. Turn it off. Away. Because you'll be surprised. You stay with the phone, guess what you're going to do? You start recording the screen if you're not careful, an experienced officer immediately darkens or shuts the computer and lowers all the volume. We don't want none of this to be displayed. It's just common practice. That's one of the reasons we take the phone. And then they post it on social media when during the detention cells. That's rookie mistakes, but you learn. But I already went through all of that. So did Ernie. You lose it. Temporarily, in most cases.
What you just heard from Officer Benavidez is one of the more candid and, from a legal standpoint, one of the more revealing stretches of testimony in all 4 depositions. He was asked directly, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone and recording the encounter an illegal act or a crime? And rather than a simple answer, what he offered was a philosophy. In his view, the moment he or another officer decides you are going to be arrested, you lose your right to record. He described his practice of taking phones, turning them off, and removing them, not because of any written policy, but because, in his words, you do not want subjects recording what officers are doing so they can post it on social media. He said, and I am paraphrasing from his own words here, that experienced officers immediately shut down recording. He called it common practice. He called it procedure. This is worth sitting with for a moment. The Fifth Circuit ruled in Turner v. Driver that the right to record police in the performance of their duties is a clearly established First Amendment right. The fact that a senior officer with over 20 years of experience describes the systematic suppression of that right as routine practice, not in moments of active danger, but simply as a matter of preference and operational habit, is precisely the kind of testimony that plaintiffs' attorneys in civil rights cases regard as institutional rather than individual. It suggests not an isolated act, but a pattern. And Benavidez will say, before this deposition ends, that he would not change a single thing about how that night was handled.
So was Mr. Rincon holding the phone, was it an illegal act or a crime?
In my opinion, no.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone and recording the encounter an illegal act or
Don't
crime?
forget the rifle.
Objection, House Paralegal over again.
You were holding a rifle too, buddy. You were holding a rifle, a cell phone, back and forth, and like, what's he gonna do? Record it, or what's he gonna do? It's obvious you don't like the law. You displayed it that night, or have a problem with the law. Most people do not. 9 out of 10 encounters, people are so cooperative, especially in this area. I've never had anything like that happen. This is always the first time. But remember, you're limited to how much you can record me, because I'm stopping you, and you got a rifle, and you're refusing to comply my orders or fellow officer orders. He's got every reason to stop and free those hands away from everything. That's it.
So was Mr. Rincon holding the phone and recording, was that an illegal act or crime?
Objection, asked and answered.
Holding the phone, you lost that the minute you were repeatedly asked to hand over the weapon. You lost that because they were going to detain you. Let me check that weapon and let's see what's going on. Who are you? Are you a trafficker? Are you from across the river? I don't know, a smuggler, something like that. We just needed to confirm. So we need to remove all of these things. You're protected by our body cams. If you think you're not, but you are. And cruiser cams. So don't forget about that rifle. It took you forever to release that rifle. It was just like a very calm police officer. Most officers would have been different. Very calm. Very, very calm. It was kind of ridiculous in your part not to cooperate with us. But luckily nothing happened.
Let's continue with the next portion. I'm going to go to exhibit number 3 at the 2-minute 35-second through 2-minute 50-second mark. There's a correction, 2-minute 24-second mark.
We provided the tags here by Bobby Submittal.
74, go ahead.
George Mary Sam 0798. Come back to a board test treatment.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo directing Officer Fernandez to handcuff Mr. Rincon?
I didn't hear that.
Does this video section depict Mr. Rincon attempting to flee?
No.
Does this video section demonstrate that Mr. Rincon was threatening any of the officers?
I don't see the exchange of the rifle at that point. If you had surrendered it or not. So I don't know what on this part of it. This is the cruiser, right? Yeah.
Does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon being violent or acting as a threat to anyone?
At this moment,
in this video section that I played?
Right here, right now, everything's calm. Everything's under control at this point. But it took 30 minutes to get it there. 20, 30 minutes. Excessive.
Does this video section demonstrate that there are at least 3 officers surrounding Mr. Rincon?
I don't know most of them. Yeah.
Does the video section demonstrate that Lieutenant Art Ramirez was within approximately 7 feet
He's the only
Mr. Rincon while he was being handcuffed?
Is that the civilian?
I believe that's him, yes.
Yeah. Yes, that's him.
Okay. If you know why Officer Fernandez directed by Officer Elizondo to handcuff Mr. Rincon?
I have no idea. I guess the decision was made by the lead officer, the one that made the encounter with you. He made a decision. We're going to have to do something.
Well, Mr.
Slow it down, because you were very verbally aggressive. And it took forever to calm that tone and get it to a tone that's more comfortable. And then I guess that's when they decided to make the approach.
Okay. Was Mr. Rincon under arrest at this point?
You were being detained. Well, all of that could have been solved very quickly if you would have just followed instructions from the beginning.
Do the video sections presented thus far demonstrate that Mr. Rincon was asked to provide his personal identification to the officers on at least 2 or more occasions?
I remember more than that. You were refusing. No, I don't have to give you my ID. No, I do not have to identify it. It took a long time to finally convince you to provide it.
To your knowledge, did Mr. Rincon comply with that request?
After that long wait, it almost seemed like a counseling to you, you gave in.
Let's look at exhibit number 4, 2-minute 35-second mark through 2-minute 50 seconds.
It comes out of your cell phone, Metal.
Does this video section depict Officer Elizondo and Officer Fernandez reaching into Mr. Rincon's pocket and clothing area?
It's called a pat down for our safety.
Do you know what they were searching for?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can answer.
Well, you might have other weapons, for all I know.
The time is 11:41. We're off the record. The time is 11:42. We're on the record.
Okay, Mr. Benavides. Does this video section accurately depict Mr. Rincon protesting Officer Elizondo and Fernandez searching his pockets and person by stating, "No, illegal search"?
I didn't hear that. But they have every right to search you at this point.
Need for me to play it again?
Sure. It comes out of your cell phone.
So let me ask the question again. Does the video section accurately depict Mr. Rincon protesting Officers Elizondo and Fernandez searching his pockets and person by stating, "No, illegal search"?
You did not physically resist, okay? But they have every right to search you. Every right. You're holding a rifle. You might have bullets in there, have another handgun. I don't know. A knife. And believe me, I've seen a lot of stuff that gets through you if you don't do a proper search. Because if we do arrest you, you're going to end up in the back seat. And if I didn't do a good search, guess what's going to happen? You had a jacket on, little bitty pistol like that, and you're done. The officer's done. You have to do a good pat down. I learned that from the jail, working there. It's extremely important. You just don't do a like that. No. You go in there, you know how to pat down after all these years. It's mandatory. Because you're going to get people hurt. But physically resisting, no. Just verbally.
Okay, this video section depict Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's wallet or other articles of property off of Mr. Rincon's person.
I'm not sure what he was able to get out. It's too dark and he's searching you.
If you know, what was the purpose of Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's wallet?
Objection calls for speculation.
Can answer.
If you didn't want to identify yourself, I wanted to confirm either if you did or didn't at some point. I need to confirm. You might have an ID to confirm who you are. If you were in our database, if run through warrants, stuff like that. Plus, number one is always weapons. Always.
Move to the other question. Was Mr. Rincon required by any law to give his wallet to any officer at this scene?
For ID purposes, if you refuse to hand it over, by your own volition, then carefully you grab the wallet, preferably in front of the camera, so you can see what you're doing. That way, the ID, I don't go in there and take everything out. No, just to see the driver's license and look at you and run traffic. I got confirmation that it is who he says he is. And like I said, after 30 minutes, they're still very calm, very calm. I commend these officers. Such professionalism.
Do you want me to rephrase that question?
No.
Okay. Let's go to exhibit. I say on this exhibit, 3 minute 4 second mark through the 3 minute 8 second mark. 3 minute 1 second. This section of video depict Officer Elizondo referring to Mr. Rincon as a cabron.
I didn't hear that. I heard the dispatch overpowering everybody.
I'm going to play it again to see if you can catch it. So, does this section of video depict Officer Elizondo referring to Mr. Rincon as a cabron?
I didn't hear that.
What does cabron translate into English under this circumstance?
I don't use that word.
If you know, did Officer Elizondo call Mr. Rincon a cabron because he protested the search?
Objection calls for speculation.
An answer.
I didn't hear him say cabron, so I can't.
At this time, was Mr. Rincon under arrest?
No, you were detained. Pending warrants checks, pending serial number checks on the weapon. If it was clear, stolen, or whatever, missing. But just enough. It's enough to hold you, man. You're holding a rifle. You're refusing to comply with police commands that are legit. Like I said, they showed too much restraint.
Let's go to the 3 minute 42 second mark through 3 minute 46 second mark.
6124.
Does this video section demonstrate you, Officer Benavides, telling Mr. Rincon to answer the questions?
Well, I hear something about a wallet, to hand over the wallet or something.
I'm going to play it again?
Yeah.
6124.
Yes, the question again. Does this section demonstrate you, Officer Benavides, telling Mr. Rincon to answer the questions?
I don't hear that.
Okay.
The audio is poor.
Was Mr. Rincon being held handcuffed and in custody because he was not answering questions?
It's common practice to handcuff somebody after a 30-minute standoff, just to make sure what's going on. You know, we had a supervisor there, so he was monitoring its standards, just in case they might decide to run, which they have. It's all experience.
Was it a yes?
That you were what?
You want me to ask the question again?
Yeah.
Okay. Was Mr. Rincon being held handcuffed and in custody because he was not answering questions?
You were being detained because they decided to detain. That's their judgment, not my call.
What was he being detained for in handcuffs?
Number one, the initial, what I heard was you were coming from the park holding a rifle. And you were approached, asked to hand over the weapon because of the area and the trafficking and all that, and the time of night, pitch dark. And you said, no, I refuse. I don't need to comply. It was just a friendly conversation. No, I need to feel safe, the officer. I need to feel safe. I need to put the rifle down. And you just wouldn't comply. It was excessive, way beyond that couple of minutes. It should be only a couple of minutes, in my opinion. If you don't comply within 2-3 minutes, normally you're done. But these guys give you a lot of time. It was their decision. It wasn't my call, and I respect it. It's mostly for officer safety. I'm sorry.
If you know why was Mr. Rincon held for approximately 20-minute time period?
Because you failed to comply with a lawful police order. And that was way too much time.
What crime was Mr. Rincon suspected of having committed?
I would have arrested you for failed to ID, number one. After 20 minutes, and if I saw you coming from our park, that's a factor. Because I'm spotting you in our city park. That's a different ball game right there. You're trespassing. It's after curfew. What are you doing? Stuff like that. But I was not the initial guy. It was Ernie. That's what I would have done.
So you said failed to ID. Do you know what Texas Penal Code failing to ID would be here in Texas?
Well, you got to have probable cause. The probable cause was there. Person with rifle shots fired by the riverbanks, and then we happen to see you coming from that area. That's enough, just to check you out.
Let me rephrase the question. You said failed to ID. So, do you know what failed to ID? Let me give you a specific code, 38.02. Do you know what that code says, or do you know what it reads, or what are the elements?
You gotta have probable cause, and at that point, he had probable cause. Like I said, I wasn't the lead man. I was an assisting man. I'm just giving you my opinion, and my opinion is different from every other officer's. But at that point, if the call is coming from over here from the park, I have every reasonable, and then holding a rifle and being a little hostile or being hostile, it gives me the right. Something's not right. He's hiding something, or he's wanted, or he's doing something he's not supposed to. Late at night in pitch darkness. It's not a good thing to approach, especially if you're alone. And I don't see why at that point you couldn't just cooperate a little bit. It took so much.
So, you're not answering my question. My question is if you know what 3802 Texas Penal Code failed to ID.
Off the bat, I don't.
Benavidez just offered his own theory of the Texas Penal Code 38.02, the failure to identify statute, when asked what crime Mr. Rinkin could have been charged with. He said probable cause existed because of the general alert about cartel activity near the river. Here is the problem with that, and it is a legal one. Texas Penal Code Section 38.02 requires that a person lawfully arrested or detained under lawful arrest refuse to provide their name, date of birth, or residence address. The statute does not apply simply because officers decide they want to know who someone is. It requires a valid lawful arrest, or at minimum the lawful execution of another statute. Without a predicate crime, without evidence that this specific man in this specific place was engaged in criminal activity beyond what amounts to being outdoors at night with a legal firearm on what he repeatedly stated was his own property, the detainment itself is legally suspect. And if the initial detainment lacked legal foundation, everything that follows, the search, the handcuffing, the seizure of property, may be constitutionally tainted. Benavidez did not articulate a specific crime. Benavidez did not articulate a specific crime. Neither, as you heard earlier, did Elizondo. What both officers described was a feeling of heightened alert, a general concern, a demographic and geographic inference. Courts have repeatedly held that generalized suspicion is not the same as individualized reasonable suspicion.
Do you recall Mr. Rincon stating that Officer Fernandez injured his shoulder when Officer Elizondo and he searched his pockets?
I don't recall.
Do you recall that Mr. Rincon requested EMS assistance on at least 3 occasions after Fernandez injured his shoulder?
I don't recall, but I believe they showed up later on. I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No, I don't recall.
Why was EMS not contacted?
Honestly, I don't know. There were several groups at that point after everything was controlled. The different groups, I got away from you once the handgun was released, checked, it was clear. You finally ID'd yourself. It had to be done a little bit the hard way, cuff you, stuff like that.
What did Lieutenant Ramirez, batch number 640, say to you about how this encounter was? Officer Benavidez, I know that you have been since retired, but do you believe that your conduct and actions during this encounter with Mr. Rincon did not violate any Laredo Police Department policies existing at that time?
I have my body cam. That's the only requirement. I can cross over on high-risk calls. There's nothing that says I can't. I had my body cam. That's a big violation that can get you suspended 10 days. I had it on. I made sure I had it on. It's exonerated me in pretty much all the complaints I've ever had. They end up being made of fools in the screen, believe it or not, because people yell at me, scream at me, trying to get me angry. It doesn't work.
So besides...
I followed procedures. I never got a, hey, you did this wrong. Ramirez was there, Lieutenant Ramirez was there, monitoring, making sure everything's calmly done. He doesn't like to be fighting. It's none of that. I know him. He used to be my lieutenant. So, no, he never said good, bad, or you did wrong, no.
So you didn't think you violated any Laredo Police Department policy?
To my knowledge, I was never approached with anything, no.
Do you believe that your conduct and actions during this encounter with Mr. Rincon did not violate any laws or statute existing at that time?
Objection calls.
Are you familiar with the United States Appellate Court for the Fifth Circuit ruling in Turner versus Driver from February 2017?
No. Are you familiar with the stop and frisk that gives us that power with reasonable suspicion? We had more than reasonable suspicion. I'm not familiar with that case you're talking about, but I don't know if you're aware of that federal law.
Did you have any training regarding this ruling for citizens' right to record public servants in the performance of their official duties prior to this encounter?
Of course. But there's a limitation. The minute that I made a decision, you're going to get arrested, you lose that privilege. It's no longer, and it needs to be turned off, away from you, to keep you from recording it on social media, like I said, copying everything that I'm doing and sending it out. That's when a lot of the officers get in trouble. They get yelled at and suspended.
Are you familiar with the United States Supreme Court ruling in Terry v. Ohio from 1968?
Yeah, I believe so.
Just a yes or no.
Is that the one where shooting at somebody as they're fleeing?
If you don't know, you can answer that.
I'm not sure.
Did you have any training regarding this ruling, a detainment and external pat-down for suspect believed to be armed and dangerous prior to this encounter? You had training?
Oh, yeah. Constant.
On Terry v. Ohio?
They just how to search, what not to search.
For purposes of possible award of punitive damage to the plaintiff in this case, can you approximate your net worth in dollars at this time?
No. What does that have to do with anything?
Do you recall how many vehicles do you have?
What does that have to do with anything?
For court purposes.
He has a claim for punitive damages, whether he's entitled to them or not is at issue anyways.
Oh, okay. I've got 2 cars and 1 motorcycle.
Do you recall how much real estate do you own or do you have an interest in?
I have a home.
How much were you paid by Laredo PD last year?
Well, I wasn't hourly. It was at $42 something per hour. So make the math. Times 20, 80.
80,000?
You know, I multiplied my base salary was 46. Multiply that 20 by 80. I never saw my check. It was always direct deposit. The wife took care of the rest.
Do you know how much you were paid all year?
I'm going to check through my bank account.
If you don't know, you can do
no, I don't know.
Okay. This is the last question, Mr. Officer Benavides. If this encounter were to take place today, would you conduct yourself exactly as you did back on April 27, 2019, or would you change anything?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can answer.
Well, everything, like I said, I'm nobody to tell these guys what to do. But I kind of congratulate them because there was always a possibility in situations like that they get out of hand, people get hurt. But I respected them because I've worked with them and they know what they're doing, especially Ernie. I've worked with him many years. SWAT, everything. So, no, I wouldn't change anything. They have a lot of restraint. I have to commend them over and over. You don't see that anywhere. Go to Austin, San Antonio, you'll be down in a second. And I can tell you, as a fellow officer, it's happened to me. And I didn't do nothing. Here in Laredo, it's a little different. It's different.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming. This concludes our deposition.
We now move to the third deposition. Officer Robert Fernandez was a 4-year officer at the time of this encounter, and he is now a homicide investigator. He was the officer who physically placed the handcuffs on Mr. Rincon. His deposition runs from approximately 1 hour 11 minutes to 1 hour 36 minutes on this timeline. He has not read the complaint. He has not watched the videos. The deposition is brief but contains several notable moments.
We are on the record. This is the video deposition of Officer Roberto Fernandez Jr. in the matter of Ismael Rincon versus City of Laredo, Texas, et al. Officer Fernandez, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may lower your hand. We may proceed.
Who's your current employer?
The Laredo Police Department.
What is your present job title?
I'm a homicide investigator.
How long have you been employed by the City of Laredo?
8 years.
Were you employed by the City of Laredo on April 27, 2019?
Yes.
What was your job title at the time?
I was an officer.
How long had you been employed as a peace officer with the city of Laredo at that time?
What was the year?
2019. April 27, 2019.
4 years.
What is your present age?
32.
Were you born in the United States of America?
Yes.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime of moral turpitude?
No.
You know what a crime of moral turpitude is?
No.
It means crime involving dishonesty, fraud, things of that nature.
No.
Have you ever been sued for civil rights violations relating to your employment as an officer?
No.
Have you ever been deposed in a federal civil lawsuit?
No.
Have you read the original complaint or any of the amended complaints in this matter?
No.
You haven't? Have you watched the videos attached to the complaint in the last 2 months?
No.
On the day of the shooting, were you employed by the city of Laredo as a peace officer on the date of the encounter with Mr. Rincon, April 27, 2019?
The shooting?
We'll get to that in a bit.
What was the date?
April 26, 2019.
Yes.
What was your work schedule on Friday, April 26, 2019, and Saturday, April 27, 2019, if you recall?
I don't recall.
Do you recall the shooting of April 26, 2019 at approximately 10:30 p.m. involving Maria Barranza, the victim of 611 Buckley Drive in Laredo, Texas? It was believed by the investigators to have been a .50 caliber weapon fired from across the border from Mexico. The bullet allegedly struck her in the cheek. You don't recall?
Vaguely, but not really.
Do you know that crime was solved?
No, I don't.
Do you recall what you were doing on April 26, 2019, the shooting?
I don't recall.
You don't recall. Did you appear in the scene of Maria Barranza's home at any time immediately following the shooting?
I don't recall. Okay. No, I don't remember.
Did you prepare and submit any paperwork or report regarding the shooting?
No, not that I know of.
On this particular day of work, were you alone or was there another officer riding with you?
For which incident?
For the same incident.
The one by Buckwheat? No, I've been by myself.
And what about the other?
I've been by myself.
Were you wearing a body-worn camera during this encounter with Mr. Rincon?
I do not recall. If I was, I had one issued, but I don't remember the exact date when I had it issued.
At approximately 12:43 a.m., April 27, 2019, a couple hours later after the shooting, did you arrive on scene in the area of 1102 South Meadow in Laredo, Texas? Were you in your police cruiser?
Yes.
What prompted you to go to this location? Were you dispatch, routine patrol, pursuit?
I believe the officer requested additional units, so I was in the area and I responded.
What do you recall was stated in general terms? If you can't recall specifically what was said in the dispatch regarding officers' need for backup.
I don't remember.
How long would you estimate or guess it took you to arrive after receiving this notice? Less than 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes?
I don't.
Were you required to appear at this location?
It's part of my duties, so
you were?
Yes.
Okay. This encounter took place in Mr. Rincon's property?
That I do not know.
You do not know? Okay, let's look at Officer Benavides' body footage from this incident, Exhibit 4. 0 seconds through 0.25 second mark.
It's a Ruger 1022. Yeah, it's a Ruger 1022 rifle. You guys know this guy?
Do you agree this section depicts the location of the encounter with Mr. Rincon?
Yes.
Do you agree there are at least 5 police department cruisers on scene?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Do you agree that there appears to be at least 7 officers on scene?
From what I saw, there was 3.
And we're gonna see Exhibit 4, 2-minute 20-second mark through 2-minute 40-second mark.
You're walking around with a gun at night.
In this video section, Officer Benavides, can you identify yourself?
I believe I'm the one detained.
The one behind me?
Yes.
Now let's look at Exhibit 5A, 0 seconds through 0.38 second mark.
Hey, ID bro? No. What's your name?
I don't have the codec for that one. Can you play that?
I can.
000286498.
It shouldn't be an issue. Todavía no es propiedad. It shouldn't be an issue. We just want to make sure.
1332, someone despatched back.
Just give me your name. What was that, man?
Just give me your name.
No, I didn't break for seizures.
Just give me your name here.
No,
You're gonna talk to him right now.
Hey,
But listen to me. Listen to me.
Detect your
I just want your name.
So in this video section, can you identify Officer Elizondo?
I believe he's the one that's walking up towards you.
Can you identify Lieutenant Ramirez?
Yes.
Can you identify yourself?
No. I didn't see myself in that video.
But in the previous video, you did see
Yes.
yourself. Who else can you identify in the video?
Just Officer Benavides from the previous video, and this one, I don't know who's talking to you.
If you want to complete it again,
Yeah.
sure.
02-864-98.
porque it shouldn't be an issue. Estoy en mi propiedad. It shouldn't be an issue.
We just want to make sure.
Can you identify him?
No,
Robert 164.
You're gonna talk to him right now.
¿Cómo te llamas tú?
What's your name?
Hey.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, let's move on. Is that Officer Elizondo reaching to take Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
Possibly. I'm not too sure. The video cuts off. I'm not too sure.
The officer that was in the hood of his unit and approached Mr. Rincon, is that Elizondo?
Yes.
Do you know why Mr. Rincon's cell phone was seized?
No.
Let's look at Officer Benavides dashcam footage from this incident recording portion of the encounter exhibit 3 at 1 minute 40 second mark through 02:35 from this incident. This was taken about the same time as my recording in the previous exhibit 5A, which you just watched.
1399, 1332, someone took my time back up. No, I didn't break for seizures. Robert 164 talking.
You can detect your body modules. When you provided the tags, your body modules in the middle.
Go ahead.
Joel.
Does this video section depict you in frame near Mr. Rincon?
I do not believe so. Can we play it again? Just so I guess. Sure. Make sure, because I don't see myself in there.
Can you repeat the time marks for this one? I can't see on the screen.
It's exhibit 3 at 01:47 through 02:35.
1399, 1332, someone.
You can detect your body modules. When you provided the tags, your body modules in the middle.
I wouldn't be able to tell you where I was at.
Are you not the officer with the flashlight that walked through the
I
survey?
wouldn't be able
Okay.
to tell.
This video section demonstrates Officer Elizondo walking away from the hood of his cruiser towards Mr. Rincon.
Yes.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo reaching and apparently taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone while he's recording the encounter in this exhibit?
Possibly, yes.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo approaching Mr. Rincon?
Yes.
This video section demonstrates that Mr. Rincon's phone is being taken from Officer Elizondo. It's worded differently. Did Officer Elizondo ask Mr. Rincon to give his cell phone?
Objection hearsay?
I can repeat the question.
Yes, please.
Did Officer Elizondo ask Mr. Rincon to give him his cell phone?
Not that I heard.
You say in this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon willingly giving Officer Elizondo his cell phone?
That I saw.
Do you think he gave it willingly?
Oh, no.
Did you say that the video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo used force to grab the phone and hit and or push Mr. Rincon backwards in order to take possession of the cell phone?
I mean, I didn't see much contact there, but I'm not too sure what your definition of use of force is.
Did he push him back when he was taking his cell phone?
I see them walking back. I don't necessarily see the actual push.
Did he make contact with Mr. Rincon while taking his cell phone?
Possibly, probably. I mean,
In his, would you say in his chest area maybe?
that I didn't see.
Would you describe the technique or actions used by the seize of Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
Excuse me?
Would you describe the technique Mr. Elizondo used to seize Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
It looks like he just tried to snatch it.
Is there a name used by the Laredo Police Department or its officers for this technique of taking someone's cell phone or other small property?
No.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone an illegal act?
Objection calls for legal conclusion.
You can answer.
I guess, yeah.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone and recording the encounter an illegal act or crime?
Objection calls for legal conclusion.
He is required to know the laws he is enforcing.
I'm allowed to object when you're asking
You
for
are.
a legal conclusion.
You are, yes. You can answer.
At this point, I would say yes.
You would say yes, it was an illegal act?
Illegal or legal?
Illegal.
Oh, no.
Officer Fernandez was just asked directly whether it was an illegal act for Mr. Rincon to hold his phone and record the encounter, if officers on scene that night did not know whether recording was legal, and if their supervisors had not ensured training on Turner versus Driver was in place, then the seizure of Mr. Rincon's phone was not just an overreach. It may have been the product of a department-wide training failure that allowed officers to act on personal preference rather than constitutional law. What we are coming up to in Fernandez's deposition, when asked what crime Elizondo was investigating that justified the entire stop, his answer, under oath, is that he would not know. 3 officers, 3 depositions, and not one of them can name the crime that justified detaining and handcuffing a man on his own land for 20 minutes.
Continue to the next portion. Exhibit 3, 0235 through 0250.
Point provided the tag, you're right about this in the middle. George, remember?
232 to 235.
235 through 0250. No, this is exhibit. No, we're in exhibit 3.
232.
235 through 0250. We didn't have that one.
37, 07, 98. I'm not sure what that.
This video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo directing you, Officer Fernandez, to handcuff Mr. Rincon.
I can't tell which officer I am at that point.
Does this video section depict Mr. Rincon attempting to flee?
To flee?
Uh-huh.
No.
This video section demonstrate that Mr. Rincon was threatening any of the officers?
Not that I could see from this video.
Does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon being violent or acting as a threat to anyone?
Not that I could see from this video.
This video section demonstrate there are at least 3 officers surrounding Mr. Rincon?
Yes.
This video section demonstrate that Lieutenant Ramirez was within approximately 7 feet of Mr. Rincon while he was being handcuffed?
I wouldn't be able to tell you how far he is from this video.
More or less.
It's hard to say. It's kind of far.
It doesn't have to be exact.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
If you know why Officer Elizondo directed you, Officer Fernandez, to handcuff Mr. Rincon, you can answer.
I mean, he felt that you needed to be detained, so.
In handcuffs?
Yes.
Was Mr. Rincon under arrest at this point?
No.
This video section presented thus far demonstrate that Mr. Rincon was asked to provide his personal identification to the officers on at least 2 or more occasions.
From this video or
all the video situation? Was Mr. Rincon required to produce his license per their request under the circumstances? Required.
No.
To your knowledge, did Mr. Rincon comply with the request?
No, I don't recall.
Was failing to provide his license a crime during this encounter?
Not at this point, no.
Officer Fernandez, are you familiar with Texas Penal Code 38.02?
I would have to see what it is.
It's the failing to identify statute.
For the most part, yes.
You are. Can you, in general terms, can you explain what it says? What are the elements to charge someone for failing to ID?
I think it's like for somebody for failure to ID, it has to be in for a cause for arrest or something like that.
Let's look at Exhibit 4, 0235 through 0250.
I think it comes out of your middle.
This video section depict Officer Elizondo and you, Officer Fernandez, reaching into Mr. Rincon's pockets and clothing area.
Reaching into pockets? No.
What would you call you were doing at the
patting you down for any other weapons?
Do you remember if Mr. Rincon was patted down prior to this pat down?
I do not recall.
Do you know what you were searching for?
Weapons, other weapons.
This video section accurately depicts Mr. Rincon protesting Officer Elizondo and you, Officer Fernandez, searching his pockets and person, stating, no, illegal search, man, illegal.
Yes, but we're not searching at that point.
Would you call a pat down the search? This video section depicts Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's wallet and other articles of a property of Mr. Rincon's person?
At this point, not yet, or no.
If you know, what was the purpose of Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's wallet?
I do not know.
To your knowledge, officer, at this time, was this standard protocol of the Laredo Police Department?
To pat down people? We pat down people.
During this encounter, was Mr. Rincon required by law to give his wallet to any officer? Let's look at Exhibit 4, 04 through 0308. 304, 308, yes. This section of the video depicts Officer Elizondo referring to Mr. Rincon as cabron.
Objection, hearsay.
I didn't hear that part. I don't know if you can play it again.
Can we raise the volume a little bit, or is it if it's possible?
I can't make out what he said.
Okay. What does cabron translate in English under this circumstance?
I wouldn't know how to translate that.
If you know, did Officer Elizondo call Mr. Rincon a cabron because he was protesting the search?
Objection, speculation.
I like I said, I couldn't make out what he said, but I mean, I wouldn't know.
This time was Mr. Rincon under arrest?
No.
Now let's look at Exhibit 4, 0333 through 0346.
You see, me está lastimando la mano. As soon as you answer the questions, no me answer the questions.
What did you mean by calm down when Mr. Rincon stated that you were injuring his hands?
Exactly that, just to
Calm down. Can you define calm? Or just, does this video section demonstrate Officer Benavides telling Mr. Rincon, the sooner you answer a question, the sooner this will be over?
I didn't hear that.
Can we play it again?
You see, me está lastimando la mano.
So let me ask this question again. This video section demonstrate Officer Benavides telling Mr. Rincon, the sooner you answer a question, the sooner this will be over?
I think he stops after the sooner you answer the questions, and then kind of there's more.
In general terms, would you say he was trying to say that?
Yeah.
Was Mr. Rincon being held handcuffed in custody because he was not answering questions?
He was being detained. Yes. Not necessarily for not answering questions, but he was being detained.
Was he being detained for in handcuffs?
For the investigation that the officer Elizondo was conducting.
Do you know what questions Mr. Rincon was required to answer in order for this encounter to end?
Objection, possible speculation.
No.
Let's go to Exhibit 4 at 0908 through 0923. This video section, he said in Spanish, te vas a comportar o te dejo ir. Can you translate that in English?
Well,
¿Te vas a comportar? Sí o no, te dejo ir.
If you comply, yes or no, and I'll let you go.
Can you define comply? Or what was he required to comply with?
I guess at that point you were trying to move freely when you were being detained.
He was not allowed to move.
No, because he was being detained.
This is the Laredo Police Department policies to handcuff people for verbally protesting.
At that point, the investigator was conducting an investigation as to what was going on. So yes, we detain people when we're investigating certain things.
Yeah. Let me ask the question again. Is there policies in the Laredo Police Department to handcuff people for protesting verbally?
For protesting, no. Verbally, no.
Let's go to Exhibit 4, 1055 through 1125.
¿Quién eres tú? You understand? 38, 11. You understand where we're coming? I mean, it's illegal. That's what we have to do. It's what we're going to do. Es ilegal lo que están haciendo. Si no está haciendo un crime, si no está haciendo nada malo, no tienen por qué. All this is being done in good faith. That's it.
Do you agree that in this video section I asked if the cuffs were necessary?
Yes.
You agree? You responded so far yes?
Yes.
What did you mean by so far yes?
Because we weren't done with our investigation. So we were still detained at that point, yes.
Would you agree? You also stated it's what we have to do. It's what we're going to do.
Yes.
And what is that? Do you have to handcuff everyone you detain?
In certain situations. I mean, it was either that or put you in the back of the unit. So at that point, it was easier just to detain you in handcuffs.
So under these circumstances, handcuffs were necessary?
I would say yes.
Now let's look at Exhibit 4, 1810 through 1903.
That's your problem. My problem. That's my problem. That's your problem. I already listen up, man. Listen up. That's your problem. I kindly asked you, hey, are you border patrol? Is there a reason you think that you were the ideas? That is your problem. You do a better job of identifying yourself. The hang us about to be exchanged. No, record this, brother. Carrying this late at night is not legal. Listen, that's your problem. You're not a good listener. Okay. We're crossing the street. That's a public park. You own that side. That's a city park. Listen up. That's a city park that we patrol. Okay. There was just a shooting on the Mexico side where a lady on this side got shot. Okay. That's why you no.
It's approximately 15 minutes after Elizondo took Mr. Rincon's cell phone wallet. Does this section of video depict you being directed by Officer Elizondo to free him or otherwise to remove handcuffs from Mr. Rincon?
That video, you look like you were already without the handcuffs.
Okay. Does this section of video, Exhibit 4 at 1810 through 1903, depict Mr. Rincon after receiving his cell phone from Officer Elizondo, activating the camera and recording Officer Elizondo and this encounter for the second time?
Yes.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone from his hand for the second time?
Yes.
If you know, did Officer Elizondo turn off Mr. Rincon's cell phone recording application or function at this point?
I don't know.
This video section demonstrates that Officer Elizondo withheld Mr. Rincon's phone from him and then several seconds later told him to place it in his pocket.
Yes.
If you know, what was the reason for Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone for the second time?
I don't know.
You can look at this from a different angle. That would be Exhibit 5B 00 through 0038. I'm gonna have to play it on my iPad, right?
You do a better job of so you're carrying this late at night.
Which is not legal.
Listen, that's your problem. You're not a good listener.
Okay.
We're crossing the street. That's a public park. You own that side.
Mm-hmm.
That's a city park that's a city park that we patrol.
Okay.
There was just a shooting on the Mexico side where a lady on this side got shot.
Does this video section essentially depict the same account as my previous exhibit?
Yes.
If you know, why was Mr. Rincon held for approximately 20 minutes in this encounter?
For Investigator Elizondo's...
What crime was Mr. Rincon suspected of having committed?
I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't know what Investigator Elizondo was, what crime he believed was being committed.
Do you recall Mr. Rincon stating that you, Officer Fernandez, injured his shoulder when Officer Elizondo and you searched his pockets?
No.
You don't recall?
No.
Do you recall that Mr. Rincon requested EMS assistance on at least 3 occasions after you injured his shoulder?
No.
You don't recall? What was the reason for not contacting EMS?
I wouldn't know. I don't remember.
What did Lieutenant Ramirez, batch 640, say to you about this encounter?
I remember speaking to him about it.
Officer, do you believe that your conduct and actions during this encounter with Mr. Rincon did not violate any Laredo Police Department policies or existing laws at this time?
No.
Are you familiar with United States Appellate Court for the Fifth Circuit ruling in Turner v. Driver from February 2017?
No.
Did you have any training prior to this encounter regarding this ruling that citizens have the right to record public servants in the performance of their official duties?
Not that I can remember.
You're familiar with the United States Supreme Court ruling in Terry v. Ohio from 1968?
Yes.
Did you receive any training regarding this ruling prior to this encounter? That during a detainment, only an external pat-down of a subject believed to be armed and dangerous is allowed?
Yes.
You did receive training?
It's covered in class, so...
Did you have any training relating to this ruling that a person detained who may flee is a danger to the officers or others is to be handcuffed if not under arrest?
We haven't gone through that worded like that, but I guess.
For purposes of possible award of punitive damage to the plaintiff in this case, can you approximate your net worth in dollars at this time?
No.
Do you recall how many vehicles you own?
Own? One.
Do you own any boats?
No.
Do you recall how much real estate do you own or have an interest in?
One, I guess. My house.
How much were you paid by Laredo Police Department last year?
I believe it was like...
Okay, last 2 questions. If this encounter were to take place today, would you conduct yourself exactly as you did back in April 27, 2019, or would you change anything?
Objection calls for speculation.
Probably just
no more questions.
Now we arrive at the 4th and final deposition. Lieutenant Ricardo Ramirez is a 36-year veteran of the Laredo Police Department. He was the highest ranking officer on scene that night. In the chain of command, he was the supervisor, the person responsible for ensuring that everything happening around Ismael Rincon was done within policy, within the law, and within the boundaries of constitutional policing.
We are on the record. This is the video deposition of Lieutenant Ricardo Ramirez in the matter of Ismael Rincon versus City of Laredo, Texas, et al. Cause number 521CV45, pending in the United States District Court, Southern District of Texas, Laredo Division. We're located in Texas Pictorial, 2611 East Elm Street, Laredo, Texas. Today's date is July 11th, 2023. The time is 11:16 a.m. My name is George Gonzalez. I'm the certified legal video specialist and the notary public. Will counsel please introduce themselves and whom they represent?
Alicia Cray on behalf of Lieutenant Ramirez.
Ismael Rincon, pro se plaintiff in this case.
Lieutenant Ramirez, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may lower your hand. You may proceed.
Morning, Mr. Ramirez. Sorry.
Morning.
As you may be aware, I'm a pro se plaintiff in this matter for which you're being deposed, Ismael Rincon versus other officers with whom you worked in the city of Laredo. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind if I refer to you as Lieutenant or prefer other?
Lieutenant Wood.
Okay. Just want to let you know that I will try and make this deposition as brief as is reasonable. We are scheduled for less than a couple hours, but hopefully you can complete this in less time. In the questions, any reference to myself will be as Mr. Rincon, okay? If I ask a question you do not understand, just let me know, and I'll try to repeat or rephrase it for you. Please only respond to the question asked. If you do not, I will immediately interrupt and direct you to answer only the question asked. Otherwise, I think we are proceeding, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go over a couple of things. I'm going to remind you that you're under oath, which means you've agreed and are required to tell the truth. You plan to do that today, right?
Yes, sir.
For this deposition today, we're going to try and preserve a clear record. So when I ask a question, I would appreciate a yes or a no for an answer using ordinary words instead of hand gestures alone, as it will make the transcript more clear. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Also, if you would like to take a brief break, you're welcome to. Just let me know, and we will. However, I'd like to ask, we will not break in mid questions. Do you have any questions before we begin?
No, sir.
As far as my exhibits, Exhibit 3 and 4 will be referencing to body camera and dash cam of Officer Benavides from the April 27, 2019 encounter on my property. This footage was provided by the Laredo Police Department in response to my later public information request. Exhibit 5A through C reference in this deposition refer to footage from my cell phone camera from this same incident. Will you please state your name for the record, your full name?
Ricardo Ramirez.
Are you currently taking medications that would interfere with your ability to complete this deposition today?
No, sir.
Do you have any medical conditions that would interfere with the ability to proceed with the deposition today?
No, sir.
Did your attorney help you prepare for this deposition?
No, sir.
Who is your current employer?
City of Laredo Police Department.
What is your present job title?
I'm a lieutenant.
How long have you been employed by the city of Laredo?
36 years, 9 months.
Were you employed by the city of Laredo on April 27, 2019?
Yes, sir.
What was your job title at that time?
Lieutenant.
How long had you been employed as a peace officer with the city of Laredo at that time?
How long was I employed? I believe makes it like 35 years.
What is your present age?
Present age, it's...
Were you born in the United States of America?
No, sir. I'm a naturalized citizen.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No, sir.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime of moral turpitude?
No, sir.
Do you know what a crime of moral turpitude is?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain briefly?
Well, I would say something that either is going to damage my reputation or the city or the department.
Fair enough. It means involving a crime involving dishonesty, fraud, something of that nature. Do you have any convictions of that?
No, sir.
No. Have you ever been sued for civil rights violations relating to your employment as an officer?
No, sir.
Have you ever been deposed in federal civil lawsuit?
No, sir.
Have you read the original complaint or any of the amended complaints in this matter?
No, sir.
Have you watched the videos attached to the complaints in the
past 2 months? No, sir.
Were you employed by the city of Laredo as a peace officer on the date of the encounter with Mr. Rincon, April 2019?
Yes, sir.
What was your work schedule on Friday, April 26, 2019, and Saturday, April 27, 2019. If you
My
recall.
my work schedule, it's Monday to Friday, 8 to 5.
On that day, if you
On
recall.
that day, yes, sir.
Was that day shift, evening?
It's a morning shift,
Morning.
8 in the morning to 5 p.m.
Do you recall the shooting of April 26, 2019 at approximately 10:30 p.m. involving Maria, the victim of Buckwheat Drive in Laredo, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Was it believed by the investigators to have been a 50 caliber weapon fired from the border in Mexico, whose bullet allegedly struck her in the cheek?
Yes,
Do you know if the crime was solved?
I don't recall.
Do you recall what we were doing at the time of the April 26, 2019 shooting?
I believe it was late at night, right? So I was off. I was a lieutenant for the homicide section. So I was home. I got called
We're
to
on
go.
call.
Yeah.
Did you prepare and submit any reports regarding the shooting?
Did I? No, sir.
This particular day of work, were you alone or was there another officer with you?
At the time of shooting,
At the time of your duties, were you patrolling by yourself or
well,
with someone?
I'm always by myself.
Were you wearing body worn camera during this encounter with Mr. Rincon?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because I was in the plain clothes section,
Oh,
detective section.
you're not required to wear a body.
No, sir.
At approximately 12:43 a.m., April 27, 2019, a couple hours later after the shooting, did you arrive on scene in the area of 1102 South Meadow Avenue in Laredo, Texas?
I did arrive at the
Were you in your police cruiser?
unmarked unit.
Right. What prompted you to go to this location? Were you dispatch, routine patrol, pursuit?
No, I was the supervisor for the detective section, so I was working.
If you remember, did you get a from dispatch?
No, I had the
What
radio.
prompted you to go?
I had the radio on, so
You self-initiated.
yes, sir.
So what do you recall was stated in general terms? If you cannot recall specifically, what was said in the dispatch regarding officers' need for backup?
Well, that I remember, it's officer investigator then, and it's still investigator Ernesto Elizondo called it over the radio that he got stopped someone with a rifle.
So how long would you estimate or guess it took you to arrive after receiving the notice? Less than 5 minutes? More than 5
I would
minutes?
say within 5 to 7 minutes.
Were you required to appear at this location?
Being the supervisor,
This encounter took place in Mr. Rincon's property.
if I recall correctly, it was on the street that Mr. Rincon claimed to be his property.
Let's look at Officer Benavides body worn footage of this incident. Exhibit 4, 00 through 0025.
That's a Ruger 1022, right?
Do you agree that this video section depicts the location of the encounter with Mr. Rincon? Would you agree there are at least 5 Laredo Police Department cruisers on scene?
At the time I got there, yes.
Would you agree there are at least, appears to be at least 7 officers on scene?
Could be.
Okay, let's look Exhibit 4, 0220 through 0240.
You're walking around at night. Hey, it comes out up your soul, metal.
In this video section of Officer Benavides' body cam, can you identify yourself?
I don't see myself there.
If you want, we can play it again. Do you want?
Yeah.
Can we play it again? Is that you?
I would say the plain clothes.
Can you identify the following officers in this video? Officer Elizondo,
It's Officer Elizondo, and I believe it's Officer Benavides. And I can't make the other one, so
Officer Fernandez.
I didn't clearly saw Hernandez himself.
Do you know the person behind me, handcuffing me, is Officer Fernandez?
From the back part, I don't recall.
Who else can you identify besides those 3 officers?
Like I said, it's only the 2 officers and myself.
Okay. Let's look at Officer Benavides' dash cam footage from this incident recording. Exhibit 3 at 147 through 0235.
You want to go to Exhibit 3, 147 to 2?
Exhibit 3, 147, 235. Yes.
1399, 1332, someone took the kind of like those. So I didn't break work the chromosome 6 over top. And then the other thing.
You're my body. I did the tag. You're my body.
Go ahead.
Is that Officer Elizondo reaching to take Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
And what part of the videos? Can you replay it?
Can we replay it?
1399, 1332, someone took the kind of like those. So I didn't break work.
You can attack, sir. Attack. You're my mother's and metal.
Is that Officer Elizondo reaching to take Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
Yes, sir.
Do you know why Mr. Rincon's cell phone is being seized?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can answer.
I don't.
Have we played 5A? We haven't. Okay, we're gonna look at another angle from the same portion. It's gonna be Exhibit 5A, 00 through 0038.
What's your name?
0002. 864.
Well, we looked at it. It shouldn't be an incident. It shouldn't be an incident. We just want to make sure. Just give me your name. Go ahead. You're gonna talk to him right now. What's your name?
Say it.
I want your name.
Does this video section depict you in frame near Mr. Rincon?
Yes, sir.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo walking away from the hood of his cruiser towards Mr. Rincon?
I believe so.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo reaching and apparently taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone while he is recording the encounter?
Yes, sir.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo approaching? Oh, I'm sorry. I asked that question. Does this video section demonstrate that Mr. Rincon's phone has been taken?
From Officer Elizondo or from... Can you repeat that question?
Let me read again. I'm sorry. Does this video section demonstrate that Mr. Rincon's phone has been taken from him by Officer Elizondo?
Yes, sir.
Did Officer Elizondo ask Mr. Rincon to give him his cell phone?
I don't recall.
Would you say that in this video section that Mr. Rincon willingly gave Mr. Elizondo his cell phone?
No, sir.
How would you describe the technique Mr. Elizondo used to seize Mr. Rincon's cell phone?
I don't understand your question.
How would you describe the technique or the way he seized the cell phone from Mr. Rincon?
Just grabbing the phone. That's it.
Would you agree it may be a snatch?
It's a grabbing of it.
Is there a name used by Laredo Police Department or its officers for this technique, taking someone's cell phone or other small property?
No, sir.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone and recording the encounter an illegal act or crime?
Objection calls for legal conclusion.
You can answer.
Yes, sir.
It was an illegal act?
The what?
You want me to ask the question again?
Yes.
During this encounter at this time, was Mr. Rincon holding his phone and recording the encounter an illegal act or crime?
Was it an illegal act?
Illegal.
Illegal, no, sir.
Let's continue with the next portion of Exhibit 3, 0235 through 0250.
232.
So I didn't.
Attack. You're my mother's and metal.
Wait for, go ahead.
0798. Let's go forward that.
Does this video section demonstrate Officer Elizondo directing Officer Fernandez to handcuff Mr. Rincon?
It's too far away. I can't actually say.
At any time during this encounter, did you observe Mr. Rincon attempting to flee?
No.
Does this video section demonstrate that Mr. Rincon was threatening any of the officers?
No, sir.
Does this video section demonstrate Mr. Rincon being violent or acting as a threat to anyone?
Not a threat.
Being violent?
I would say it was a little bit vocal, outspoken. That's about it.
Is there a law that allows you to detain someone for being vocal or being testing verbally?
Well, it all depends on the situation, sir.
So it may be.
Yes, sir.
Does this video section demonstrate that there are at least 3 officers surrounding Mr. Rincon?
Yes, sir.
Does this video section demonstrate that you, Lieutenant Ramirez, was within approximately 7 feet of Mr. Rincon while he was being handcuffed?
Yes, sir.
If you know, why did Officer Elizondo direct Officer Fernandez to handcuff Mr. Rincon?
Objection.
You can answer.
You would have to ask him.
Was Mr. Rincon under arrest at this point?
Not that I know.
Do the video sections presented thus far demonstrate that Mr. Rincon was asked to provide his personal identification to the officers on at least 2 or more occasions?
From what I gathered, as I arrived, yes, he was asked to identify himself.
Lieutenant Ramirez is about to be asked whether the law required Mr. Rincon to provide identification. His first answer invoked the situation, the gun, the circumstances, before ultimately acknowledging he could not actually state the law he was referring to. He was then asked whether failing to provide identification was a crime during this encounter. His answer, no. He confirmed that Mr. Rincon carrying a weapon on his private property was not an illegal act. He confirmed that Mr. Rincon was not under arrest. And he confirmed that he, the highest-ranking officer, the supervisor standing within 7 feet of a man being handcuffed, observed all of this unfold. Under basic supervisory liability principles in civil rights law, a supervisor who is present, who observes constitutional violations, and who takes no action to prevent or correct them may be held personally liable under 42 U.S.C. section 1983. That does not mean the legal standard is automatically met here. The courts have set a high bar. But the fact that Ramirez watched his officers search a man's pockets, remove his wallet, take his phone, detain him in handcuffs without arrest, deny him EMS after he requested it, and that he acknowledged all of that in deposition is the factual predicate for exactly that kind of supervisory liability argument.
Was Mr. Rincon required to produce his license per their request?
Well, it's up to the individual. I mean, but based on the situation that he had a gun, so I would say not required, but I mean, that would be just a matter of interpretation as far as him giving his information, which Mr. Rincon did not provide.
To your knowledge, did Mr. Rincon comply with his request?
From what I saw, no.
Was failing to provide his license a crime during this encounter?
No.
Lieutenant, are you familiar with Texas Penal Code 38.02?
I would need to see that. But by memory, I don't know.
That would be the failing to ID statute. Are you familiar with that statute?
Yes, sir.
You are? Can you, to your knowledge, what does that code say regarding the elements for that particular crime?
Well, like I said, an individual was identified following a criminal.
Let's look at Exhibit 4, 0235 through 0250.
It comes out of your cell phone.
This video section depicts Officer Elizondo and Officer Fernandez reaching into Mr. Rincon's pocket and clothing area.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what they were searching for?
I don't know. Possible weapons. So.
This video section accurately depicts Mr. Rincon protesting Officer Elizondo and Officer Fernandez searching his pockets and person by stating, no, illegal search, man, illegal.
Oh, yes.
This video section depicts Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's wallet or other articles of property of Mr. Rincon's person.
I see him reaching for something. I don't know what he got.
If you know what was the purpose of Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's wallet?
Objection, speculation.
You can answer.
I don't know.
To your knowledge, at this time, was this standard protocol for Laredo Police Department?
Well, if it's a pat down, yes.
To retrieve items from
If
pockets?
it does, the officer believes it's either contraband or a weapon, yes.
During this encounter, was Mr. Rincon required by any law to give his wallet to any officer?
Objection, legal conclusion.
You can answer.
I don't understand your question.
During this encounter, was Mr. Rincon obligated to provide his ID when officers requested?
Well, based on the situation and that he was told about the incident, I do believe
He was required by law?
he will be required to provide some identification, either verbal or physical.
Could you please state that law you're referring to?
I don't know.
You don't?
No, sir.
Okay, let's look at Exhibit 4, 0304 through 0308. During this section of video, does it depict Officer Elizondo referring to Mr. Rincon as cabron?
I didn't hear that.
Can we play it again? Do you need for us to play it again? Can you play it again, please? Does this video section depict Officer Elizondo referring to Mr. Rincon as
I hear
cabron?
tienes rank, and other than that, I don't hear cabron.
What does cabron translate to under these circumstances in English?
In English, it would say like tough guy.
If you know, did Officer Elizondo call Mr. Rincon a cabron because he protested the search of his person?
Objection, speculation.
You can answer.
You would have to ask him.
At this point, was Mr. Rincon under arrest?
No, sir.
Let's look at Exhibit 4, 0342 through 0346. This video section demonstrates Officer Benavides telling Mr. Rincon to answer the questions.
He's asking questions.
Is he telling Mr. Rincon to answer?
I didn't hear that. You want to replay? Because I didn't hear him.
Can we replay this? Is that from 0342?
4246.
Let me make a correction. It's going to be 0339 through 0346. This section demonstrates Officer Benavides telling Mr. Rincon, the sooner you answer the questions, the sooner this will be over.
I believe it's Elizondo, the one who says not Benavides. Can you replay it? Because I think I hear Elizondo's voice.
The person wearing the body worn camera is Officer Benavides.
Okay.
I believe Elizondo was still in the patrol in his unit. This video section demonstrates Officer Benavides telling Mr. Rincon
Yes, sir.
was Mr. Rincon being held handcuffed and in custody because he was not answering questions.
She was in custody, but it was not because of not answering questions.
Why was he detained and in handcuffs?
Like I said, you would need to ask the officers.
Do you know what question or questions Mr. Rincon was required to answer in order to end this encounter?
No, sir.
Now let's look at Exhibit 4, 1810 through 1903. This is approximately 15 minutes after Officer Elizondo took Mr. Rincon's cell phone. This video section depicts Officer Fernandez being directed by Officer Elizondo to free him or otherwise remove Mr. Rincon's handcuffs.
Yes, sir.
Did he comply with this directive?
I believe so. One hand is out.
This is section of video in Exhibit 4, 1810 to 1903 that depict Mr. Rincon. After receiving his cell phone from Officer Elizondo, activating the camera and recording Officer Elizondo and this encounter for a second time.
I believe so.
This video section demonstrates Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone from his hand for a second time.
Yes, sir.
If you know, did Officer Elizondo turn off Mr. Rincon's cell phone recording function application at this point?
I don't know.
This video section demonstrates that Officer Elizondo withheld Mr. Rincon's phone from him and then several seconds later told him to place it in his pocket.
Yes, sir.
If you know, what was the reason for Officer Elizondo taking Mr. Rincon's cell phone for a second time?
I don't know, sir.
We can look at the same event from a different angle. That would be Exhibit 5B, 00 through 0038.
That's your problem. That is your problem, man. You do a better job of identifying yourself late at night. You're carrying this.
Hey, it's about to be exchanged.
No, record this, brother. You're carrying this late at night.
It's not illegal.
Listen, that's your problem. You're not a good listener.
Okay.
You're crossing the street. That's a public park. You own that side. But that's a city park that listen up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a city park that we patrol.
Okay.
There was just a shooting on the Mexico side where a lady on this side got shot.
This video section depicts essentially the same account to the previous exhibit just presented to you.
Yes, sir.
If you know, why was Mr. Rincon held for approximately 20 minutes?
Well, he was explaining about the situation that had happened and the situation he had.
What crime was Mr. Rincon suspected to having committed?
He was just asked to identify himself. He was explaining about the incident in Laredo.
So you would say failing to ID?
Well, actually not failing to ID. They were telling him to identify himself first of all, because he was carrying a weapon in a public place, which Mr. Rincon claimed to be his property.
Was carrying a weapon on this particular event on his private property an illegal act?
No, sir.
Do you recall Mr. Rincon stating to Officer Fernandez that he had injured his shoulder when Officer Elizondo and Officer Fernandez searched his pockets during the initial moments of the encounter?
I don't recall.
Do you recall Mr. Rincon requested EMS assistance on at least 3 occasions?
No, sir.
What was the reason for not contacting EMS?
We need to ask the officers there.
You were their direct supervisor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are they required to call EMS when a person that's being detained asks?
Yes, sir.
You're required?
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Ramirez just confirmed something critical. When asked whether officers are required to call EMS, when a detained person requests it, he said yes, they are required. He confirmed this in plain terms. And then the next question answers itself. Mr. Rincon asked for EMS at least 3 times, and EMS was never called. The lieutenant was the senior officer on scene. He supervised the encounter. He acknowledged the requirement. He took no action to fulfill it. That gap between what the policy requires and what actually happened is, in legal terms, the kind of documented discrepancy that supports both compensatory and potentially punitive damages in a civil rights claim.
Now let's look at Exhibit 5C, 00 through 0040.
To back number?
894.
894. Okay.
What are you
We'll go ahead and complain.
You don't want to.
That's why I'm lighting you up.
Which is
Yeah?
No, so that way too. That's the best number. I don't have to answer. Just no. That's your right. It's your property. No, si soy claro. Le preguntamos al chief. So this is your property. You will check. You're clear. That's it.
Near the end of this video, Mr. Rincon asked you for your name and badge number. You told him the scene was clear, correct?
But once I told you that you will check, you will release.
When you said the scene was clear from what?
Basically, that we did check the weapon. The weapon was not either stolen. I mean, whatever in the situation on hand. I mean, there's no other investigation to be followed.
Or required to run serial numbers whenever you detain someone?
Yeah.
They have firearms?
When we encounter a weapon, yes, we do run serial numbers.
You are required to run it?
Yes, sir.
Did you provide your name and badge number to Mr. Rincon?
No, sir.
Yes. Why not?
That's so no need to.
Is there any Laredo Police Department policy requiring uniformed or ununiformed officers to identify?
A uniform officer.
Okay. Do you believe that the conduct or actions of the officers on scene, including yourself during this encounter with Mr. Rincon, did not violate any Laredo Police Department existing policy at the time?
No, sir.
You were a lieutenant, Laredo Police Department at this incident, correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you the senior officer on scene?
I believe so.
As a senior officer on scene, please state your duties and responsibilities.
Was not the senior officer. I would say the highest ranking officer.
Mhm.
It's to oversee that the situation is taken care of.
Can you detail a little bit more your duties and responsibilities as far as your supervising position?
Like I said, it's for the supervisor to oversee that everything's being taken care of, all the angles of the case are carried properly, and including for the detainee or whoever's we're interviewing or interrogating, for him to provide the information.
Are you required to supervise officers and make sure they do not violate any statutes or laws?
Yes, sir.
The responsibilities include overseeing and directing the conduct of the officers and to make sure they comply with policies and procedures, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the United States Appellate Court for the Fifth Circuit ruling in Turner v. Driver from February 2017?
I don't recall.
Did you have any training prior to this encounter regarding this ruling that citizens have the right to record public servants in their performance of their official duties?
Not that I'm aware.
You did not have any training? Are you familiar with the United States Supreme Court ruling in Terry v. Ohio in 1968?
I would need to see the statute.
Are you familiar with it personally?
I've heard of it, but as of now, I don't recall.
Did you have any training regarding this ruling prior to the encounter that during a detainment, only an external pat-down of a suspect believed to be armed and dangerous is allowed?
Yes, sir.
You did receive training?
No, through the trainings that we have, yes, we pat down an individual. Like I said before, I mean, it's either if you find something that would resemble narcotics or illegal substances or a weapon, then you can check it out.
Do you have any training relating to this ruling that only a person detained who may flee is a danger to officers or otherwise is to be handcuffed if not under arrest?
Oh, well, the individual at that time, he was detained because he was refusing to identify.
So because the individual was refusing to identify, the officers were required to handcuff Mr. Rincon?
Well, the fact that he had a weapon, he might have other weapons in his possession.
Did you observe any pat-downs prior to them handcuffing Mr. Rincon?
No, sir.
Last couple questions. If this encounter were to take place today, would you conduct yourself exactly as you did back in April 27, 2019, or would you change anything?
Objection, separation.
You can answer.
We'll do the same.
Same thing?
Yes, sir.
No changes? No more questions.
If this encounter were to take place today, would you do anything differently? Lieutenant Ricardo Ramirez, 36 years on the force, highest ranking officer on scene that night, answered that question with 2 words. Same thing. No changes. No acknowledgement of what the video evidence shows. No reflection on whether a man asking for his name and badge number, asking for medical assistance 3 times, standing on his own property, committing no crime, deserved a different outcome. That answer closes 4 depositions and opens a very clear window into why this case exists. Ismael Rincon filed suit in federal district court against the city of Laredo and officers Elizondo, Benavidez, and Fernandez under 42 U.S.C. section 1983, asserting violations of his rights under the First and Fourth Amendments. He raised 7 distinct claims: the phone seizures, the handcuffing, the wallet search, the excessive force during the phone grab, the shoulder injury, Benavidez shining his flashlight into the camera, and a failure to train claim against the city itself. He did all of this without an attorney. The district court granted the defendant's judgment on the pleadings as to most of Mr. Rincon's claims, allowing 2 to proceed to discovery. Those remaining claims did not survive either. The district court dismissed all claims, and the Fifth Circuit affirmed that dismissal on February 25, 2025. On the question of Elizondo's admission and deposition that he suspected no crime, the Fifth Circuit held that reasonable suspicion and probable cause are objective inquiries, and that an officer's subjective intentions have no impact on either analysis. No criminal charges were ever filed against Ismael Rincon arising from this encounter.